Hello and welcome to the Super Basement Bro Show. My name is Connor and I'm joined by Tanner, Hasten, and Parker.
Hi.
Today,
Hello, what's up, guys?
we're going to be talking about 2023, guys, as a year for video games and what many would consider one of the best years for video games of all time, probably.
Really?
I think most people would agree with that. But we're going to talk about our game of the years. We're going to talk about our favorite moments from games this year, our most anticipated games for next year, and just kind of talk about the year in general and how we feel about the games that came out, and maybe even how we feel some of the other game of the year awards have gone, like Baldur's Gate, pretty much sweeping across the board.
Yeah.
What was that?
Just taking everything.
Taking everything,
None of us
yeah.
have played it, by the way.
Yeah, that's
None of us have played
Baldur's
it.
Gate, so it's probably not on any of our
Parker,
lists.
If
didn't
Baldur's
play any
Gate 3
games from this year.
I have not
He
played
didn't
any.
play any game. The only games he played was old games. Same with me.
Yeah. If
Lego
Baldur's
games.
Gate 3 is your game of the year out there, we apologize. None of us have played it, but I'm sure it's great. It looks good. It doesn't look
Fortnite.
like a game I would necessarily jive with, but I don't know. I've never really played like a CRPG, so maybe I
Jive
would.
with?
What were
Yeah.
your favorite games then?
Never heard that word before, Parker?
I don't go to school.
Jeez, all right. That's true. He doesn't.
Alright,
so,
I'll start with my games of this year. So I have
Do it.
7.
well, do we want to go one by one kind of deal? Go back and forth. I guess you have the
Oh.
most, so
Well, some of them might be the same.
I
Right?
don't have like.
Okay, how many do you
One
guys
in
have?
particular game.
I did a top 5 with
I don't-
honorable mentions.
Okay, and then so I'll just say my till I'm at 5. So I have
Okay.
Starfield is my 7, which I put about
Okay.
50 hours in.
Should
I'm
I
surprised.
also have Starfield?
Yeah. Is it like number 1 or anything?
Because we can talk about Starfield, like if you bring it up, and then because that's one of
Yeah,
my
let's just do that. If it's on your list, go ahead and bring up where you have it
Starfield
placed, and we
also
can
on
kind of
my
talk about it.
list.
Yeah,
Not number
Starfield is the lowest one on my list, but not the worst game I've played this year, obviously. But
Yeah.
not the
Maybe it's on
best
your top
Bethesda
your
game.
best.
But it still has some of that adventure like aspect that you look for in Bethesda RPGs. And I put about 60 hours into it, and I did enjoy what I played. So
Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah, go ahead,
it's
Sam.
one of my favorite. Like I didn't play it too much. Got to be honest, because I started playing the Lego games instead. But I did enjoy what I played. I think it's a little more empty than I'm happy with, if I'm honest. I think that sometimes the randomly generated shtick gets old really fast. But I did like it. It's still in my top list. You know, there wasn't
Yeah.
very many games that I played though this year that came out this year. So
I'm
Yeah,
kind of surprised,
okay.
if I'm being honest with you guys. I mean, both you guys, for the audience out there, you guys are diehard Skyrim fans. Probably both of your guys is at least in your top 3 games of all time.
Yeah.
I would say.
I think it's because they tried to go too big, so it just like there's almost like there's not that like exploration of like you have Skyrim and you can just explore Skyrim. You have to like explore thousands of places that are kind of empty, to be honest, in a lot of ways. Whereas
well,
like
and you'll
Skyrim's
agree with this,
such a-
Hasten, which is like Skyrim. Every location is hand crafted, and
yeah,
it feels
yeah.
magical.
Like
No.
even you walk by a cabin and it's got some lady in it with like
Yeah.
chemicals, like supplies that are like she's
And she's called the
an
Hag.
alchemist.
And she
Yeah,
has a
she's like an
special
alchemist.
weapon.
And then you
There's
kill
always
her,
something.
and then the entire town and then you're wanted forever. And
She's bad though. Okay.
Yeah,
Don't
but
kill
it
the
just has
chicken.
that. It just doesn't
Oh,
have that
spoilers.
condensed feeling
You're
of
not playing it.
Bethesda games.
I actually want to. I want to
I
try.
mean, look. Here's what I'll say. Like, as somebody who is also a fan of Fallout, which was also divisive, I love Fallout 4. In fact, it's one of my favorite games ever. And Fallout 4 feels dead and lifeless, and they somehow made a Bethesda game more dead and lifeless than Fallout.
But it feels dead and lifeless in a dead and lifeless world.
Yeah, like it's meant to be that way. Yeah, and I agree.
it's supposed to be that way.
Oh,
Whereas
that's-
Starfield's supposed to
yeah.
be like you're in space and there's like all these cool space towns, but it's just not the same.
Well,
Did it
like, have
kind
you
of,
seen how they've been responding to critics on Steam? Have you guys heard about that at all?
I did hear about that.
I heard
yeah.
about this. Yeah.
Super cringe, right? But like they've been saying in their responses like, "Oh, Starfield's supposed to feel dead. The planets are supposed to feel like real planets," and it's like, it shouldn't feel like I'm landing on the moon, the real moon, and there's nothing there. It should feel at least somewhat fun. It's at the end of the game.
Well, that's what it's like.
At the end of the game,
Have you ever been?
At the end of the day, it's still a game.
Especially since it's a game where like humans have taken over like the galaxy.
Like, how many
so
years
like everything should be inhabited or something, you know?
At least somewhat. And it's like, look, I get it. They have like stories of like why Earth is not there and it's all destroyed and stuff. But it's
that
like,
stuff was awesome. That, you know what was crazy is like I went back to Earth and Mars to like just figure it all out. That was probably the best part of the game. Like the
like seeing all the
of the old
pyramids
stuff and Mars and
it was
stuff
awesome.
like that. But then
it's like that's what I was mad is like I was like, okay, since Earth is gone, which is one of the most life planets, like full of life, I was hoping for a couple more planets that were like filled to the brim,
like New York City,
humans and people, and well, it's like the main city, New Atlantis, is awesome. It's the biggest city they've ever done. It's great, but that's it. It's the only one that exists in thousands of planets.
Also, way too many loading screens and hidden loading screens.
Oh, way too many.
Which Bethesda has always had, but with all the new SSDs and stuff out there, it feels so much worse now because
look, and I'll add to that problem, which is it launched on PC good, at least on Steam, from what I've understood. But the fact that it launched on PC Game Pass, which is PC Game Pass, horribly. Like, to me, where it wasn't even playing, it was hitching every 5 seconds, the audio was cutting out. That's not acceptable, in my opinion. It's Game Pass. That's their main service.
That's true.
And it's like, they advertise it as day one launch on PC Game Pass. I couldn't even play it on PC, and I was honestly, that was my first impression of Starfield, and it was horrible. I was like, oh, well, I don't want to play it anymore. It's not working.
Yeah, Starfield's one of those games that I really want to check out at some point. I haven't at this point. It was a crazy year for games. I think me and Parker are in the same position on that. I've had it downloaded on my Xbox since it came out.
Well, it's like 120 gigabytes.
It's huge, yeah.
So,
but here's what I'd say. Here's my advice: is I would give it a bit. I imagine it's gonna have a cyberpunk situation.
I kind of feel the same way. Yeah, I could see that have kind of a redemption arc. It reminds me of, and I know they're obviously completely different scale and the teams are vastly different sizes, but like No Man's Sky, when that came out, I remember it was like that was everyone's complaint with it. It's like, oh, it's dead. There's not a lot to do.
They stuck to it.
People kind of complained. Yeah. And then now it's considered like people love No Man's Sky. Like No Man's Sky had a complete 180 redemption arc.
Yeah, it won best community support like last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, that game came out, I think, 2018, 5 years ago, or 2017.
It was like one of the worst.
Was it even earlier? It might have been earlier. I don't know.
It was a long time ago. It was like 2017. But yeah, I mean Bethesda's constantly updating it. They hotfix it all the time. Like I'm constantly getting updates, which is a good sign. They've already announced that the DLC is coming out, that paid mods and all that, whatever. So we'll see. I have hope for Starfield. I'm not completely out of the loop. I mean, if I'm honest, just barely, I downloaded a mod which makes every enemy a stormtrooper.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool. So you're basically playing in Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like a Star. You know what? But that's what Bethesda games are all about, right? In my opinion, which is
the mod support. The mod scene is huge for those.
Customizability. So
yeah, we'll talk about it. Oh, go ahead, Asen.
That's Starfield basically for me, and it's great game. It's on my top list, which is crazy, and we just basically ripped on it for 5 minutes.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
What number was it on your list?
It's 7, but it just doesn't live up to my expectations for Bethesda quite. But it's still a great game. Like it's better than every other game that came out this year, in my opinion, except for the top 6 that I have.
Wasn't even nominated for Game of the Year, right?
Not at the Jeff Keighley Awards.
I don't really have a list too much, but I'd say it's probably lower. I'd say it's maybe the lowest on my list. Once again, but still out of the best games of the year.
Yeah, Starfield's one of those weird situations where I think it had so much hype around it because of Bethesda and it being kind of the signature game for Xbox after all this time. And I think that almost kind of hurt it in a way where it could never possibly live up to the such high expectations for it.
Looking back at that, that trailer they showed like 3 months before launch, That
Yeah.
was honestly one of the best trailers I've
Oh
ever
my
seen.
gosh,
Like for
that
selling
was
me
The end of
towards
the
the
Xbox
game,
absolutely
showcase.
yeah. At the
I was like,
Xbox
I
showcase.
want to play this game as much as
for
I did
Starfield?
Skyrim. At
Well,
the
remember,
time.
it was
Yeah.
when they first announced they were like, you can board enemy ships and become a pirate.
Yeah.
I was like, this is game of the year, easy. 'Cause they were saying all this stuff you could do, but then when I started to play it, realizing, okay, half of those mechanics are half baked or not. Almost
You can
non-existent.
do it, but it's
can
not
do
very
it.
fun.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can steal people's ships and pirate them, but then you have to take them back and then pay for them to be in your fleet, and then at the same time they take up one of the slots and they're usually trash. It's like, yeah, so you can't really, right? You're not gonna take the time to board every ship and steal their loot, and it's just cool. It's a cool idea that that's in the game. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, you guys know that I'm not the biggest Bethesda RPG person. I've always wanted to try them a little more, but I tell you what, that trailer, that showcase they had, sold me on the game. Someone who never even beat Skyrim,
Almost got
and
you.
it almost got. And I'm gonna try it at some point. That showcase was amazing. Like that's how you show off a game. But it is unfortunate it didn't quite live up to expectations. Does anyone have anything else to say about Starfield, or should we move on? I'm gonna go and throw out a couple of my honorable mentions because I have like 5 honorable mentions, and I just want to kind of, get them out of the way. But
I'd reiterate real quick, if it's a game you have on your list, just shout it out.
just pop in. But these are some of my honorable mentions. I have Dead Space remake on my honorable mentions list. I did not beat this, and that's why it's on my honorable mentions and not probably in my top 5. But I want to get back to it. It's freaking awesome. It's like a perfect remake for that game. Best way to play it. I don't know if you guys tried it out at all, or
I have it downloaded, but
I have
I'm
it downloaded.
ready to play it.
yeah, it's awesome. But shout out to Dead Space. I have Apex Legends on shouting out. Mostly just because Apex is one of those games that I play all the time, and I do think it was
Constantly in
a
your
pretty good
list.
year in terms of just
Content.
quality of life
Updated
stuff for
ones.
the legends themselves, because there was only 2 new legends that came out this entire year.
Yeah.
But
You count the rework as the legend, though?
yeah, and I mean, if you count that, yeah, it's a third legend. But
I mean, it's basically a new legend.
yeah,
Still.
I just think they did a great job with reworking how some of the legends play and just kind of patching the game or balancing the game to make it a little more interesting. And they changed Stormpoint and a bunch of other little things like that for maps. And they had way more events this year than they have in the past. So shout out to Respawn. I don't know if you guys have anything to say about that, but
Yeah, that's it's not on my list or anything, but definitely like compared. We've even talked about this before in our past like times playing it. It's like they don't update the game, but this past year they have, and yeah, it's been way better this year.
Mhm.
Apex is very consistent with being good.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna throw out another honorable mention real quick. Hi-Fi Rush didn't beat it, but shout out to Tango Gameworks, one of my favorite developers. They made the Evil Within games, and I'm glad to see them get a lot of praise for something completely different, than anything they've ever made. But super fun game from what I played. I got to get back to it. And then my last couple shout outs, I think they'll be on other people's lists, but they didn't make my top 5, but I count them I kind of count them as their own games, even though they're part of another game, but that's Rocket Racing and Lego Fortnite.
Oh, okay. I thought that was going to be on your list.
I
Oh,
counted
No,
those
actually,
separately.
they're close.
I counted those
but-
separately because I feel like they're made
I
by
did
different
too.
publishers.
I did too.
Yeah.
And they are a different game. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, look, we have to set this precedent because this is a new era of gaming that we're coming to where this is going to become the norm, if I'm honest, where games like Fortnite, Roblox, any of
Call of
these
Duty.
games
I
where
mean,
they're
gosh,
big
it's
hubs,
In
Call
the
of Duty,
background of Hasten.
they're gonna, look, Hasten's literally
Oh, yeah.
right now.
He's farming
Look,
XP.
These are different games, right? And we have to acknowledge that. I mean, Epic even put that on a tweet where people were questioning that, and they're like, we like to think of them as separate games.
Well, and they said that they're going to, they're permanent things. They're not like limited time modes or anything.
They'll be
like
separately
that.
updated.
Yeah.
They'll have their own seasons, their own battle passes, and all that junk.
Game within
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Look,
Um,
it's
Rocket
what
Racing
it's
is
what
the-
Donald Mustard always wanted,
Mhm.
Rocket Racing's legitimately one of the, probably my second favorite racing game ever. And I know
It's
a lot
really
of us
good.
aren't really racing game fans.
Honestly, I'd
particularly,
agree.
But it's
Out of the
so
ones I
good.
played.
Mario Kart 8 and then probably Rocket Racing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And then
Like
Lego
Mario
Fortnite-
Kart is the number one racing game for me, but I prefer racing games that are more goofy and fun and crazy over the top. You know, I get that people love like Gran
Forza and
Turismo
Gran
and stuff
Turismo.
like that. And Need for Speed's great too, but those are more realistic racers. I prefer the more goofy over the top ones. And Rocket
The only
Racing
fun part is running from
so
the cops.
good. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
running
I hate-
from the cops. And in Mario Kart, it's my favorite.
In Mario Kart, that's great.
They'll add it, eventually. You gotta-
Eventually, yeah. But yeah,
Someday.
Rocket Racing, shout out Psyonix, Rocket League developers, great job. Highly enjoying that. And then, do you guys have anything to say
I will
about
say
Lego
about
Fortnite?
I'll say about Rocket Racing at least before we
Yeah.
get into Lego Fortnite. I think Rocket Racing's awesome as well. I will say I hope they do a little more with it. It didn't launch
For
with
sure.
too many maps. But here's the thing with these
It,
games
it
is
did. Here's the thing, though, is the way they launched it. It does have a ton of maps. It has like 15
Yeah.
maps. You
Yeah.
just can't play them because they're in
Well,
ranked.
see, that's the
Yeah.
thing,
You have to
right?
level up your ranked. Because I'm almost diamond now, and I have like literally I play on a different map every single time.
Yeah.
I guess the way I look at these games
Yeah.
is they're a lot like Fortnite was, where they launch in like a beta form. They're very small and minimalistic at first. Like they're still great, but then they slowly add, and that seems like what they're doing. Because I guess I'm surprised they didn't add all the Rocket League cars that you had from Rocket League. They said some of them will work, but I imagine at some point you give it a year, it'll be huge. It'll be its own thing. It'll have tons of maps, tons of cars, different modes, duos, super speed, whatever you got to do. It'll be
Well,
like Mario Kart in that.
And that's exactly why I
Oh, that might be
didn't.
fun.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I didn't include Fortnite Festival on my list, because I think Fortnite Festival is fun, but I feel like that out of all of them is definitely the
fair.
least baked. That one needed a little more time to
Super too
fully.
expensive for everything they.
Yeah,
put in there.
yeah, exactly. And it'd be nice once they have the instruments compatible and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I think that'll be a big moment is when they launch the instrument.
I'm excited for that to be more fleshed out. And I agree, Rocket Racing could use some more content. But I kind of look at it as like this is a great start for what's going to be another live service type of game. And so that's why I want to give it a shout out, put it on the honorable mentions list. But Lego Fortnite is also awesome. I'm not a big survival gamer too much. I've played a bit of Minecraft and stuff like that, but this is a great first step to kind of get
That
into
survival game.
survival games
Gateway
and stuff like
drug.
that. Yeah, and it's fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'll go ahead and say that's on my list. I would argue. I mean, I didn't really write down a list, but it's probably number 2 for me as far as new games. I have a couple others that are old. But,
That makes sense.
Yeah, new games, Lego Fortnite. It's awesome. Love it.
Yeah, Lego
They
Fortnite's
did a great job.
Lego Fortnite's my number 3.
Oh, nice.
And it just does such a great job at introducing new players because I'm someone who I wouldn't call myself a Minecraft hater, but I kind of would. So it's like just it brings out
Obviously.
what I feel like I always wanted Minecraft to be for me personally. And
I think it's also
I don't even know how many hours I put in it because I'm mining XP, so it's all fake. But it's a lot of hours. It's got to be up the top there. So
Yeah. I mean, to add to that, what you said about it being what you wanted Minecraft to be, I think a lot of people have felt that way about it. It's a lot simpler. The building's easier. It's not as intense. It's not as survival heavy. It is a survival game at the end of the day, but it's a lot more chill, and I think that's what's great about
there's
it.
also raspberries everywhere, so just go. grab a raspberry.
Food.
You're not
like,
gonna
starve.
I think it's a perfect
I mean-
example of a game that can get people into survival games and also be able to feel like they can actually survive in a survival game without too much challenge. Because
you get like games like Rust and these just
They're so
unforgiving
daunting.
ones.
Yeah.
I don't
They're
like
just
the cold
I'm
and hot
just- I
thing, though.
have no idea what to do here.
Yeah, the weather is a little rough. Yeah,
The weather's really rough.
But I mean, that's a survival mechanic that they decided to add, and it works. I mean, it works for them. It's not too unforgiving. I mean, the cold area is a little hard. You're freezing.
That's really
time.
the only hard area, though.
But you know what? That's what I like is, look, I was going to bring this up about Lego Fortnite. My favorite survival games are all difficulty. I don't remember what to call it, where you progressively progress through the game without there being guidelines. So you'll be like, oh, I can do whatever I want. Oh, but you can't go in the frost area. You're going to die.
Yeah.
You need to go to the sun area first. Oh, but you can't go there yet. You have
Yeah,
to
it's
now.
very
You
Breath
gotta,
of the
get
Wild.
through the grasslands.
Right.
You know.
And I love that where it technically you can do whatever you want, but they want to send you somewhere first. Minecraft's a lot that way a lot. Same with Grounded. I mean, Grounded's one of the game I think I said last year. It's like that. Artificial difficulty,
Yeah.
progressing, a specific way. I think that's what made Lego Fortnite so appealing to a lot of people, where they were like, I feel like I'm progressing. I feel like I'm getting better every time I log on. Oh, now I have whatever the materials are.
Yeah.
I can't even remember them.
It is very Breath of the
room,
Wild
like
too,
not
in the
room.
sense that it's like Nintendo is funneling you somewhere, even if you don't know it. But it
Yeah.
gives you that almost illusion that you
In the
have
sense
complete
that you-
control,
yeah.
where you do in a lot of ways. But it's like you can't
I
quite go
found
to
this-
the
whoa.
volcano area because you're gonna burn if you go there. You need to get certain equipment for that, or if you go to the cold area, you're gonna freeze. But it's a good mechanic. It's a good game mechanic for sure. What about you, Parker? Did you how'd you feel about Lego Fortnite?
He doesn't like Lego Fortnite. Let's be real.
I haven't had time to play it a lot, but I just don't really like the weather thing. Other than that, though, I think it's. I mean, I need to give it more time, but
I think you encountered, which is one of the biggest problems with survival games, which is feeling left behind, especially when you're playing with a group. Minecraft's a lot that way. Any survival game is, where your friends can progress and get really good gear, and then you're left in the dust if you don't log on. Like Minecraft, you don't progress as fast.
I'm just seeing these flashes you guys are talking about on my screen now. It's like it's like showing some weird image, like some
I know,
demon.
it's like hell or something.
Yeah.
Showing
jump
your-
scare.
A foot cam.
Yeah, apologies for any technical difficulties that might be showing up. We're still messing
It's
around with some stuff,
disgusting.
but yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to
Struggling.
interrupt.
But I think my favorite thing about Lego Fortnite, the reason why it's in my list, is because of the potential that I see in Fortnite as a whole. I love the integration with the skins, Battle Pass, XP. That is literally next level. It reminds me of Ready Player.
Why
You
does it
keep
do
looking at the
that?
hitching. It reminds me of like Ready Player One. Where Ready Player
Like a
One,
Ninja Turtle or something.
they're in the Oasis, which is Fortnite, and they can go and do whatever experience they want, earn XP, wear their favorite skin.
It
Yeah.
deserves
I'm
to be
excited
on,
to see
It
what they do.
deserves to be on Connor's list because I never thought there'd be a game where Connor spends as much as he has.
Well, and building, like
Yeah,
it's
it's
funny
true.
because it really
Literally.
shows the different players you are. And Connor's building all these cute castles.
That's my favorite thing to
areas,
do
decorating.
is building stuff.
Well, that's the thing that he did in Minecraft.
It's good.
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad
prefer
you
the
do, because
I prefer the creative side of those games.
Than
The
the
survival
other side.
side is fun in its own way, but I definitely lean more
I'm
toward the creative
very-
stuff.
Adventurous,
Yeah.
exploring part of them.
You need the different player types, if I'm honest. Otherwise you'd never have a cool looking village, or you'd never get anything done.
Yeah.
Glad I can come back to the village hilltop, and then there's a bunch of new buildings.
Yeah, we
everywhere.
called our village Hilltop, and
There's like
it's
80
pretty
giant
sick.
very
staircases.
creative name. We're on top of a hill.
Yep. I'm pretty sure Hilltop is from something else too, and I can't think of what it is.
Well, I
but-
keep thinking of
Or Walking
Underhill.
Dead. It's the.
It's
Is
from
it?
a
Oh,
bunch of
Walking
things.
Dead. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
It's the one that like Maggie leads.
Maggie's. Yeah, she's like the mayor of it, right?
Yep. Speaking of my favorite games this year, Walking Dead Destinies is probably
Your
I'm
favorite.
just kidding.
That was
yeah,
your game
yeah,
of the
yeah.
year, I'm sure.
Along with Skull Island, Kong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kong Skull Island and
What was the other one that just came out recently on PC that literally got pulled after a week?
Days
It was-
Gone.
No, not Days
no,
Gone.
no,
That's
Days Gone is the PlayStation game.
but it's close. It's close to that name.
Something like that.
that name.
Yeah.
Days
Days-
Ago or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Days of Dawn.
immediately like they had to refund
Days
everyone
Lost.
and pulled it. Oh my gosh, that would be a nightmare.
Embarrassing.
Um,
See how much they're going for now, though. The Steam keys selling for like
no,
hundreds of dollars because
really, because it's gone. I guess yeah, that could. The scarcity
horrible
makes things
game.
go up in value, even if it's a horrible game. It's like E.T. or something. I mean, E.T.'s a bad example, but what's that? There's a a game that's like
I was like, what?
I can't think of what it
the
is.
Atari game.
Yeah, but I think E.T. there was tons of copies. Maybe I'm misremembering. There's something else though that
It ended
like
up
was
in the
is a
dumpster or
horrible
something.
game. I think it's like a snowman or something like that. But it's like apparently a terrible game, and it's worth thousands now because it's just so rare.
And it's
Day
kind of like
before.
Lego Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I mean, not worth thousands, but yeah.
Not quite to the level, but yeah.
Yeah, totally.
You know what's crazy is the day before was so bad
Day before.
that the company literally shut down.
Yeah, they're gone.
And
That's
after
so
4
bad.
days, after
Like-
4 days of it launching,
It's really sad.
and they
Yeah.
pulled the game. It's super sad. I mean, look,
That's a
as somebody who's been interested in game development, it is sad to see that.
Yeah.
Regardless
Yeah.
of people making fun of it, it's like that's sad.
Mhm.
It was somebody's
Totally.
passion. A little bit.
Well, and that's another thing to quickly acknowledge is this year has been crazy in terms of like
Horrible for
layoffs
game
and
developers.
studios shutting down, and just it's been crazy. So ironically, in terms of it's been one of the best years in gaming for actual game releases, but in terms of the
I'd say
game like ecosystem and developers and stuff, it's been pretty awful.
I mean, that's the quote I've seen this year or last year was best year for games, worst year for game developers.
Yep.
Like literally, so many layoffs, so many companies shutting down, downsizing. You know, it's a new era. I've been saying it, or at least in my head, for years, that gaming is changing as a whole. You know, it's becoming a bigger medium every day, every year.
It's gonna get more corporate and just more
Yeah.
corporate.
It will. I
further
mean,
we
look at
go.
every industry ever. You know, music industry, film industry. They start off more innocent, and there's a lot of it'll become more corporate and big money. You know,
Yeah.
I'll use that as a segue
Yeah.
to acknowledge one of my favorite developers, which is Ponicle, who makes Vampire Survivors,
Oh, okay.
and they are tiny.
Is that on
tiny,
your list?
tiny. Yes, Vampire Survivors is on my list. It didn't come out this year, but it's released DLCs.
Yeah,
Last year, I
and
guess.
I think it literally came out last year, right? So it's not like it
It
was...
came out 2022 or 2021. I don't know. Either way, I mean, they released DLC and updates, so I count any ongoing game if it had something like how with Apex, you know, if it has content, new year it counts.
Yeah.
And Vampire Survivors straight up one of the best run and gun, or what do they call it? Gunzerking?
I don't know what you call that type of game. I think they invented their own genre for it or
Bullet
something.
Hell games.
Bullet Hell
Storm,
kind
yeah,
of thing.
Bullet Hell.
Bullet Storm kind of
Bullet
thing.
Hell, roguelite. I've tried other ones because I'm trying to chase that feeling I got from Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
Nothing's
It's
over. So good.
It's pretty
It is a
unique
great
in
game. It's
that way.
It's a game I got into this year, and I've never played a game quite like it. And it's so fun. If it was a
Addicting.
game that came out this year, it would be on my list, and it'd
Yeah.
be high up there too.
It
Personally.
is really fun.
Well, and
But
I'll
once you
say- I'll
beat it,
say,
it's kinda like
I don't know,
insane
like
fun.
that's the thing I guess I disagree with. There's so much to do for a game that was free on Game Pass. The DLC at launch is $3. You know,
Well, even the game
they're
itself
so
is what?
against-
$5.
$5 full price. Well, like
That's
look,
crazy.
and I follow the developers and they're awesome. They released their roadmap
Free on
for
Game Pass.
this year, and there's like 20 things. They're like, we want to do updates all the time. I'm like, it's so cool. These guys are awesome.
Mhm.
You know, they just love their game. You can tell they're passionate. You know, their inspiration shows with Castlevania and stuff. And I don't know, it's super cool. It's a great game. I think that it's underrated. It doesn't get enough recognition. that it
Yeah,
deserves.
there was like Among Us
Yeah.
DLC that just came out, right?
And the Among Us deal, like I'm not even. This is sounds stupid, but it's easily one of the best DLC for a game that I've seen. It's
Wow.
not one of the best DLC ever, but for a specific game
Yeah.
because it's huge. It adds like 9 new characters, like 20 something new weapons, $3,
That's crazy.
and it's
yeah.
Among Us.
Crazy.
It has the music, it has references out the wizzow. It's awesome. Like there's the sounds. Oh,
I know
it's
we're
so cool.
we're kind of going off a little bit of a track here, but I think a quick shout out also just to DLC, especially this year. Like I feel like
yeah.
DLC has been at an all-time high in terms of quality. Like Resident Evil 4 had Separate Ways, which is straight up like
Mercenaries.
almost a full-on own game. Like you could play that and it was cheap,
Yeah.
$10. That's DLC that easily could have been they could have charged $20 to $30 for. Like
Mhm.
easily.
Look,
and most people would have paid
nowadays
it.
especially.
And it's super high
you gotta
quality.
you gotta respect companies that still do DLC like that because
Will
in
do good
a
quality DLC, yeah.
microtransaction heavy game industry like we are now, where they can just launch a gingerbread skin and make $1 billion. You know,
Yeah.
making
What
a
else?
DLC and launching it for $10.
There was some other big DLC this year, like Cyberpunk, obviously with Phantom
mean,
Liberty
look,
was huge.
yeah,
That's basically
Phantom
its own
Liberty.
game.
God of War had a free
God of War. Yeah.
update DLC. out of
I have
nowhere.
I have not
this
played
year.
it. Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but I've
I wanna
heard
play
it's
it so
like
bad.
full on story stuff. which I think people were surprised about, which is cool.
The best
Yeah,
DLC.
Have you played it, Hasten?
I started it, but I didn't get going into it because I died. And then I
I mean,
turned it
yeah,
off.
it's like roguelike,
Yeah,
right?
but-
So you're probably it's probably hard.
Yeah.
Best DLC,
That
Modern
was
Warfare 3.
free. Yeah, I was gonna make the same joke. You beat me
Full
to
game?
it.
Full
You
game
beat me
for
to it.
DLC
Dang
for
it.
$70.
About COD.
Oh, that was good.
I was gonna make the same.
That
joke
was the
about
best
COD, yeah.
DLC of the year,
Yeah,
guys.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Be
I'm like,
real.
yeah, and then
Could
there was a full
$70
$70 DLC for MW2.
And you know what's
It's called
funny though is
MW3.
they didn't even try to hide it.
Great DLC.
No.
When it launched, it didn't have a separate achievement. Did you see that? It didn't have a
Yeah.
separate achievement list.
Yeah, it was all
It
part of
also
MW2.
didn't have a separate game. You just played it in
Yeah,
Modern
you
Warfare.
launched
In
it from
MW3.
Honestly,
college.
they should
Yeah.
have just done zombies as a separate game at that point.
Hey, you know what we said about developers earlier? No, not Activision. F you guys. No, you don't count.
Well, hopefully,
We're
and
not talking about you.
hopefully that stuff starts to kind of change a little bit with
that
Xbox
one,
owning
yeah,
it. We'll
Microsoft.
see what
Did
happens, but
you guys see that
Bobby Kotick left.
Bobby Kotick is done?
Yeah.
He's
Which is
officially
awesome.
gone.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
awesome. It's about time.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Me and my boys don't
There's
like
the
that
Flash
guy.
again.
The
All right.
Flash. He just ran in front of your screen.
Oh
I
my
just saw
gosh.
him.
Yeah, that's him. He's here.
Uh,
Oh, there he is. Yeah, what is
Wait,
that?
what?
I gotta like.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go through and freeze frame it. Hopefully, it's nothing
gonna
bad.
be
See
like
what
a
it is. It's
really
gonna scare you.
inappropriate
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be like a
It's some
demon. I'm
guy
like, oh
that's-
my gosh, and then I'm gonna be haunted for the rest of
It's
my
like
life.
it's gonna
Someone
be a
behind-
camera view
it's gonna-
from behind you. And,
It's
like,
gonna be
looks like
someone
it's coming out of
recording
a
me.
closet.
Yeah, from the closet or from through the
Yeah.
the window
It
pane
looks
thing
like
I
a-
have here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Oh
like
my
a horror
gosh.
character.
No, don't tell me that.
Hey, that matches.
Maybe it's Freddy Fazbear. It looks like.
But I guess I'll end it on Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
It's probably. I think it's number one for me.
Nice.
Oh well, out of my old games. Sorry.
yeah.
Games that launched this year, not old games.
Number
It's the
one of
number one
all time.
played
Where-
game
Vampire
for the
Survivors.
first time this year.
Where are you at in your list right now, Hasten? Number wise.
I
'Cause we can
have.
kinda coordinate.
I'm on 6. I need to do
Okay,
6.
you do your 6 because I'll be on 5 next, and so then we'll be
Okay.
right by each
My
other.
6, I don't think will be on any of your guys' list. It is because I don't think you played it. It's Hogwarts Legacy.
Ah, nice.
And this is honestly a year I've never really been into Harry Potter. Well, I guess last year I watched all the movies and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" I'm so
But you
excited
love
for
Harry
this
Potter.
new game coming. I do
Yeah,
now.
he loves
And you're
Daniel
right,
Radcliffe.
yeah.
I know, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's
But
an
I
inside
never
joke.
really played it or like watched Harry Potter or cared about it until last
Nobody
year,
knows what that
really.
means.
It's true. And so, but literally, I've never had a game immerse me in a world quite
Mhm.
like in a different way than like Tears of the Kingdom would, right? Like
Right.
in
Yeah.
its own universe, like it just immerses you so well, and it's so fun.
Feeling like a student at
feeling like a
Hogwarts.
student and flying around
Yeah.
and just using magic. It's such a great game.
That's one of the
So,
biggest
and
games.
I think
I haven't
I give
played.
a shout out. Everybody should play that game at some point.
It's on my wish list. As
Same.
soon as it's $10 or on Game Pass, I'll do it.
Don't worry. Don't
That's
worry. I
crazy.
have it on Switch. I have it on Switch, guys.
Oh, good luck with that, Parker.
Yeah.
how that
Dare
It's
you
gonna
to
run
try to
great.
get through the first.
Because it is
mission.
it is huge. It is one of the biggest worlds I've ever played in because it's all of Hogwarts. You can literally fly to Hogsmeade over the water, and then like there's surrounding areas around everything around that. It's huge, ginormous.
To add to
So.
that, I surprised no recognition at Game Awards or anything.
Yeah,
Nothing.
like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that-
Nomination.
I think it's because it came out so early in the year, and it
Yeah.
just got buried by the 7 other games.
It's just been
look,
such an
this
insane
is
year
so
for
great,
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been tough, but that's one I definitely want to check out at some point. I, have grown up a big Harry Potter fan, and it looks and also just from a personal level. I mean, the developers are from Salt Lake, so shout out.
Lake.
Let's go.
Oh, that's right.
But
Like,
yeah,
Whoa.
represent.
You guys know where we live. Here's my IP address.
But yeah, that's one I definitely want to check out. Do you have anything else to say about it?
they
Hayden?
can't get all of us.
No, yeah, play it. It's a great game, and I need
Not on
to
Switch.
finish and beat it. But I've literally, I that's the thing is I put 50 hours into it, still haven't beat it. So
Nice. What I want to do is I want to set up a weekend. I want to get it, set up a whole weekend where I get butterbeer and stuff like that, and then
Oh,
just
that's a
cozy
great
up
idea.
and play it. Like, oh, that sounds so.
Oh,
So
I want to
nice.
do that too. We
Yeah.
should all do that. If
We
only
should just do it.
remotely
Yeah,
should all
we
do
should
that.
just have a Harry Potter weekend. We go to Universal Studios, go to it in real life,
Yeah.
Go to
In
Universal
Florida.
too.
Let's fly.
and then
to
we'll come
Florida.
back and we'll just cozy up and play Harry Potter. you
Call
know?
Daniel Radcliffe.
We'll
over
get
and
Daniel
over,
there.
Harass him
Yeah.
online.
What is that? What is he really good at?
Acting.
Oh, rapping or something. Remember he did
Oh,
that.
there's
yeah,
the-
he
with
is
Jimmy
on
Fallon,
Jimmy
right?
Fallon.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right. What
he
the frick?
does.
What
That's a
random
very
detail.
random poll, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I thought of.
He's also a
Getting
really
confused
good
with
actor in a
Elijah
bunch of
Wood,
indie movies. Shout out to Daniel Radcliffe. All right, I'm gonna go on to my
Expecto Patronum.
expecto Patronum.
Wait, before you go,
Expecto.
Parker,
Yeah,
do you have any? This Parker hasn't gone yet.
yeah. Do you have a top
Have any what?
5 necessarily, or
Any
is
game.
My list
like a specific?
this
How many
year?
do you have? Yeah, for this year.
I don't
Even
have
if
many.
it's not this year, mine was Vampire Survivor, so do it.
I don't have any
It's
games.
not-
I didn't play
It's
any
not
games
this year,
Didn't
but
play any.
Spider-Man 1.
Oh, nice.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
Spider-Man one.
Parker's finally working through the Spider-Man.
I'm
which
finally
is awesome.
working.
When did
well,
it
didn't
come
it
out
come
on
out on
PC?
PC?
Yeah, when did it come out on PC? I think it might have.
Oh yeah,
I think it came out PC early this
Spider-Man.
year. So
remastered.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what I've been playing it on. So
yeah. I was either early this year or
no.
last year. Yeah.
2022.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm having fun with it.
August.
Well, I got
I want to try
one
the
oh sorry. Go ahead.
new one. I just want to try Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah. We
And Miles
will.
When it
Morales.
comes to PC.
Spoilers. We'll get that. We'll get to that in a bit. I'm sure. But I'll go to do my number 5 because this is one that Parker can definitely talk about. My number 5 is a surprising one for me. I honestly don't think I would have ever thought that it would be in my like on my end of the year top 5 list or anything. But it is just Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Fortnite
OG, baby.
as a whole.
Most
and
players
this
never
is-
gotten.
I've always been a dabbler, I guess you could say, in Fortnite. I've played it with you guys here and there, and I've dabbled and jumped in myself once in a while. But it's not something I've ever been like super into and like completed a battle pass or anything like that. But this was the first year I would say I really got into Fortnite, and Fortnite is an awesome game. It's super fun, has great crossovers, great updates, great just content on a regular basis. There's always stuff to do, and especially now with like if you count all the extra games that are in Fortnite. But it's just been a great year for Fortnite and Epic, and with OG when they did that in November, that was a huge hit. That was super fun playing that with you guys. And then even just some of the regular seasons, I
done
think
with
have been
OG
awesome
and
personally.
Had a bunch of
Had one of the
content with
best
Lego and
seasons.
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, look, since you said it, it's on my list. Fortnite has been, like I said it earlier, they're on another level right now. Fortnite never ceases to amaze me to be the best game of all time and then drop off and then come back out of nowhere.
Yep.
You know,
Crazy.
they've never died, but they weren't the top game for a while, and then out of nowhere they're like OG season. They get a bunch of viewers, and then they're like, hey, biggest season we've ever dropped ever. Multiple game modes launching, crazy crossover skins. Been
How many
awesome,
players
right?
on the first day?
Like OG
Gosh.
season had like 8 million concurrent players. Oh no, and then the Eminem concert, the live event was like 12 million.
Yeah.
absurd.
Insane.
Yeah,
They're nuts. They're absolutely insane.
huge year for Fortnite, I would say, especially from a more casual perspective, or from a casual, and then coming in full on with Fortnite this year. I just think they did such a great job. Some really great skins. I've always joked that there was a while I went straight up years without ever buying
Spending
a
no
battle
money.
pass
In game.
in like anything, including Apex and stuff like that. I got Apex as a couple
And
years
who would
ago
have
now at this
thought
point.
he's
But
he got tier 100?
now I'm
Sinking
literally
into it.
I've passed tier 100 on the current
Be careful.
battle pass for Fortnite. So it's like, and I've gotten multiple skins. It's just one of those things I never
Careful,
thought
you're
I
gonna get
would
addicted.
fall for. But here we are. They got me. They
Connor
They're
jumps
getting
into the
everyone.
lobby
Gotcha.
yesterday. Connor jumps into the lobby yesterday. He's like, "Look what I got, guys! I got Alan Wake. I got John Wick. I
I got
got all
Ezio.
the skins."
He's got
Spending
every
friggin'
skin now.
got
Kevin
Ninja Turtles. I
Feige
got
and
Batman. I
Any
got.
skins anywhere. In-game purchases were like,
I have so many
It'll
now.
get you. Be careful. I
Yeah.
tell you, it'll get you.
you're gonna get addicted.
thousands.
Well,
Thousands of dollars gone.
And this is a conversation for another day. But they're just so good at it's messed up in a way, but they totally get you with the things going away, because it's like they put Kylo Ren back in the
FOMO.
shop, and I was like, well, I have to get
He
him
won't be back
because
for
I
another
mean
year,
he
you
might
don't
not be
know.
back for 6. I mean the Star Wars skins come back pretty regularly, but I was still like, I don't want to
they'll-
risk it. I don't
you
want to
know
wait
they'll come
6
back.
No,
months.
you look
Made
like
of-
you know.
Hasten missed Darth Maul by like a day.
A day.
Hasn't
Literally
come
a
back.
single day. He was in the shop for like 12 hours and then just disappeared.
Yeah.
Gone.
Well, and then
Christmas
it's like you never know, and
Yeah.
that's how they get you because it's like the
Christmas
Ninja
Miracle.
Turtles come in the shop. I got them day one because I'm like, I need to get the Ninja Turtles, and then they were in the shop for like 2 weeks. You know.
Speaking of, that's another thing Fortnite does amazing is their renditions of the characters.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Shout out to they literally
Yeah.
put
The
like
designers. Whew,
arguably my
Peter.
favorite designs for the Ninja
looking
Turtles
Turtles.
ever. Like in
Easily.
Fortnite. Like
Yeah.
what the?
Oh yeah.
How did they do that?
Yep.
They're very reminiscent of the 2003 show, which is my favorite, and just absolutely killed the design. The designers at Fortnite are, shout out to them. They're really good at
I mean,
what
look,
they
they make you want to spend your money on it.
do. Hmm.
They
Good
get
job.
you.
Well, it's
They
like
really do.
it's like what you said the other day, where it's becoming kind of an investment, where in a good way,
Yeah.
especially with all these new games that they're adding, like Lego Fortnite, Rocket
Mhm.
Racing, all these things. It's like it's one of those things. It's a pretty safe thing to get skins for Fortnite, arguably, because it's such a
Use
successful
them in
game
every experience.
to where you're going to be able to use them in multiple games, like going forward. It's like
Yeah.
if you're not feeling Battle Royale at the time. That's totally fine. You can play Guitar Hero with these skins. If you're not
and
feeling
look,
Guitar
that's
Hero,
so
you
much
could
it.
friggin'
There you go.
play Lego Fortnite. You can play Lego versions
That's
of
why
those
I brought up
skins.
Ready Player One earlier, like with the Oasis. I think Fortnite will get to the point, like, because Roblox is that way, where it's just a hub for hundreds of thousands of games. Fortnite will be that way one day. We'll have a single player story game about Jonesy chasing Peely down. Something
Yeah,
crazy. There'll be an RPG mode. I guarantee you, there'll be every mode you can think of. You give it a couple years. They already started doing it. They've seen the success. Look, the fact that at one point when these games launched, Lego Fortnite had like 4 million players in it. Fortnite Festival had like 1 million. Rocket Racing had like 3 million. One moment, it's insane. No games like that. Even games that launch day one. You have a
Don't
couple
have that.
million. Day
Their
one, and then
games
they
would
drop off.
literally kill for numbers like that. You
Yeah.
know,
And you'll see. I
Yeah.
guarantee you'll see companies
Literally kill, like murder.
literally
someone.
They're
murder
gonna
someone,
approach
dude.
Fortnite. I wouldn't be surprised if you see companies like Ubisoft and Microsoft being like, "We want to launch a game on Fortnite."
Yeah,
day
that's.
before.
I didn't even think about that. I mean, this once again
Yeah.
kind of a conversation for another day. But yeah, they totally could. I could see Ubisoft and some of these companies being like, well, what's that dodgeball game called that they had? Was that Ubisoft? No, that was
Oh,
EA.
that's right.
It was one of them. But
That game
Knockout
was
City.
fun, though.
Knockout City was awesome, but it's gone now. Like they shut it down. If that game
Wasn't
was just
popular enough?
put
That's so
in
sad.
Fortnite, who knows?
yeah.
It might be alive
Where-
today.
where-
Like
where
they could just have it
people,
as a game
As a
within
crea-
Fortnite
like
with
yeah.
your
Well, like, think
skins,
about
with
it.
your
People-
Fortnite skins.
You
Dang.
don't have to leave the game. You can just like, oh, let's play Knockout.
Let's play Let's play Knockout City in Fortnite. Yeah, with my
boom, boom.
Ninja Turtle skin.
Let's jump into Lego Fortnite real quick, and oh wait, let's go back. Like
And
we
I
did
think-
the
It's
other
crazy
night,
that you can just decide to like switch the game mode quickly, and it takes like 2 seconds.
And you can still play as Donatello
Yeah,
in
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
I think it's
Just
only a
cross
matter of
it over.
time before we see, because they're owned by Epic at this point. But Fall Guys and Rocket League just folded into the Fortnite hub.
Pretty sure Fall Guys has already been leaked. It could be coming.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
don't talk about leaks here, but we've already talked about
we
it.
never talk about leaks. Yeah, but no, they straight up. I mean, it honestly might be the way to go. Like, put it in Fortnite, and then it's kind of almost safe in there. With you have a guaranteed player base that might just pop in here and there, and then
Yeah.
the servers are already on. But
Mhm.
yeah, shout out to Fortnite. Anything else to say about it, or do we want to move on?
Nope. I think that's it.
Hasten, what's your 5?
My 5 and 6 are so reversible. I had a hard time deciding, so I put 6 as Hogwarts Legacy. But my number 5 is Jedi Survivor, and I don't know. Did you
That
play
came
it,
out this
Connor?
year.
Yeah,
did,
so I won't take over just yet, but yeah, I played it for a couple hours, and that's all I've played so far. I want to get back to
Yeah,
it, but
that's
it's
crazy, 'cause
awesome.
Especially
Yeah.
since you were such a big fan of the first one.
Mhm.
But,
Oh,
So many
I beat the
games to
game.
play.
I should have platinum
I
the
beat
first
it,
one.
do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
You don't have time. God of War.
Jedi
2.
Survivor
Yeah.
is so fun, and Cal Kestis, I'll tell you, is such a great character that I really hope they bring into the Star Wars world.
Yeah.
But they did everything that they did in the first game, except they improved on everything, and they made it a better story. So it's as good as the first game, but just a little bit better. So, yeah, number 5.
I'm excited to play more of it because I've played about 2 hours now, 2-3 hours. It's just been an insanely busy year with games, but I'm gonna get back to it. I
You
love the
still
first
haven't
one.
beat God of War. You
Still haven't beat
Zelda.
Ragnarok, yeah, and I need to beat
is
that
Dude,
so I
it's been
can
a
it is
year
play the
and,
DLC.
What, 2
and-
months now?
It's been
That's
nuts.
crazy.
Well, and
Jedi
then
Survivor is a difficult game too, so it's gonna
Yeah.
take you a while because it's got that like
It's like
Would
Souls.
you-
type development.
Yeah,
Totally.
would you say it's Souls-like then? 'Cause I've heard
Absolutely.
people say
Sure.
that.
Yeah, Jedi Survivor just in general, or what is it called? Jedi
yeah, Jedi
Fallen
Survivor.
Order, Jedi Survivor. They're both very Souls.
Jedi
They
series,
have
yeah.
very Souls mechanics.
Yeah,
That's
they
cool.
literally
I mean, that's a big
have
selling point for it. I never
like the meditation spot, you know, where you like it's like the grace in
the
Elden Ring and stuff,
bonfire.
like the bonfire.
the bonfire and Dark.
Like you
Souls,
have to
yeah.
go back there, and when you go back there, it resets the enemies and all that. Like it's straight up very Souls like. It's basically a Souls meets like Metroidvania type game, I would say.
Awesome.
Adventure and
I
stuff.
gotta try
like
it
that, too.
once again.
I would talk more about it, but like I can't talk about the mechanics and stuff without spoiling stuff.
Mm.
So.
Well, I appreciate that.
You
Thank
have
you.
the
Yeah.
Force, chain lightning.
Yeah, I guess we should kind of say that up front. We won't be spoiling anything like in any major ways. So.
I will. If we've played it, I'm spoiling it.
OG Fortnite season happened.
In OG Fortnite, Jonesy
So
kills.
Oh
Beeler.
no! Don't say it. No, kills the Rock.
Yeah, kills the Rock, and Brie Larson flies in with the Ninja Turtles.
Man,
Oh,
that game's
no.
crazy,
They
man.
shoot John Wick, and then Boba Fett.
All right, I'm gonna move on to my number 4. My 4 might be a little controversial, but that's okay. It's Metroid Prime
Uh-oh.
Remastered.
ew.
Oh,
Just
hey,
kidding.
that's why is that? That's not
I
controversial.
thought. Well, I thought as my partner was like, "Who said uh-oh?"
Well, we both did. Me and Parker
I thought
said it.
someone was
I
thinking
said,
like I was
"Oh."
gonna bring up some like random like Steam game that's like made by neo Nazis or
Yeah,
something.
This might be controversial.
Booby.
One weird
Booby.
anime
Yeah,
game.
Boomy Simulator.
Sex with Hitler.
Yeah.
3, you know, it's really good. Love the mechanics.
Only like 10
Really
people
like the
played
main
it, but
character, wish it was me.
no, but Metroid Prime
Only
Remastered.
like 10 people played it, but I was
yeah,
one of those
I was one
people.
of them, and
I
let me
was
tell you
all
what,
10.
it's
It
number
was the
4
best
game
game
of the
of all
year. I'm
time.
telling you guys, you gotta play it. No, but Metroid Prime Remastered. The reason why I say it's maybe kind of controversial is just because it's a
It's a
remaster.
remake,
But I will say this: it is the closest thing you can get to a remake, and if it was
Without
any
anything.
other company that isn't Nintendo, they would have called it a remake, 100%.
Yeah.
Like if you look at that game, look, yeah, if you look at
Last of Us.
screenshots side by side from the original GameCube release and the remaster, it looks day to night difference. It's completely different games, like straight up. And Samus's design, if you look at side by sides, it's 10 times better. And there's subtle changes that match better with the the updated engine and stuff like that. So it's basically a full on remake, and it is so good. I have almost beaten it. I'm probably like right toward the end.
Man, you
but
haven't
it's
beaten
amazing.
anything, man.
I know it's hard for me to actually just like beat it because I get distracted by so many other shiny new things. But
Ooh, shiny new game. Must
but
play.
I played it before. You know,
Precious.
I played it on
Fortnite.
GameCube. For-
Lego
the
Fortnite for
Ninja
hours
Turtles,
and hours
guys,
and
the
hours.
Ninja Turtles are here. I have to get them. No, but it's such a good game. The GameCube release, I've played back in the day as well, and it's honestly one of the best games of all time. It still holds up, like straight up. It's one of those things where it's like, when Mario 64 came to the Switch a couple years ago, I remember there was some people kind of being like, "Oh, this doesn't hold up quite as well."
Yeah, no.
But like Hasten,
upscaling
I personally think it does, but Hasten, other people. But Metroid Prime is one of those ones where it straight up holds up. That could be a game that came out this year and people would believe it. So shout out Nintendo, great remaster. I'm so glad to see it back. I hope we get 2 and 3 remastered as well before 4
That'd be
comes
awesome.
out.
They definitely should do that, and then maybe make them go on sale so I can actually get them. 'Cause I'm not spending
Hey,
60
Metroid
bucks.
Prime remastered. That's another thing I got to shout out real quick. I've said that so many times today, but
What do you got to shout out?
it's straight up only $40. So I mean that's crazy. Like once again, any other company that would be a $60, $70 game.
It's true. But
Oh, so you
Nintendo,
bet on
Talking about
bet on
you,
GameCube, it's
PlayStation.
probably going to be $80 or $90. So.
Yeah.
that's true.
It's true. Yeah. Absolutely, probably more.
That's why I
Discount.
don't play it. I don't play it on either. Move on.
Anyway, yeah.
Huh?
Tanner or Hasten 4.
My number 4 is Rocket Racing. We've already talked about that.
Nice.
Great game. So,
What?
Rocket Racing.
Loved Rocket
I'm
Racing.
excited for what they're gonna do with that game because
Me
I
too.
feel like they could do so much, and I think they released it a little early, but when they
Yeah.
do updates and stuff, I'm super hyped for it.
I think
The
they for sure
base-
did.
The base game's already so fun they can't. They couldn't
Base
screw it up.
gameplay takes some time to get used to, but once you're used to it and you're good at drifting and stuff, it's one of
Awesome.
the funnest racing games I've ever played.
Yeah,
It's a more high octane,
good
high
one.
octane version of Mario Kart. With Mario Kart's
Yeah,
anti-gravity
the
stuff.
anti-gravity
I
stuff.
love where you can magnetize to the ceiling and jump off and boost. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they could do so much with that. I'm excited to see
Yeah.
It's
it.
epic. It's an epic game.
It
Epic.
is.
It's an epic game.
Got that.
Lots of
High
things here.
octane.
I love the
Racing with
racing with the
rockets.
rockets. Yeah. All right.
Fortnite.
There's a bunch of quality of life stuff that I'm excited for them to start adding. Even little things I'm thinking about where it's like when you win a race or something, it'd be cool if there was an animation at the end that had like, a pedestal, the monkey ball style, like first, second, and first place with your actual skins of the character you're playing as
Why
standing
don't
next to
they
the
do that?
car.
Yeah, because you don't see your.
You don't see your skin except for like a picture,
Just have a little
like a
icon.
JPEG. So it's like that would be cool if they add stuff like
I
that.
paid $2,000 for a JPEG.
Yeah, yeah, straight up.
It's Fortnite selling.
They're paying
NFTs.
$20 JPEGs for rocket racing.
It's NFTs. They got away. They
Crazy.
did it.
They
Fortnite
did it.
did it.
Oh
We
my
didn't even
gosh.
realize.
They did it
guys.
right, and we fell for it.
Under our noses.
But I think like a tournament mode would be cool too for rocket racing. Tourney style,
would
like
be
Smash
sick,
Bros would be awesome. Like Hasten was saying earlier, duos and stuff like that, like a
Battle
team race.
mode.
Yeah, they could. There's the possibilities are endless. So yeah, shout out rocket racing.
You didn't say that. I did.
Wait, what?
I said duos.
Oh, you said duos. Sorry, Parker. Good job with the duos idea. That was smart.
Thank you.
Remember the recognition thing?
Should I go to my number 3, or does anyone else want to shout out?
I mean, I'll say
put
one
anything?
because I don't really have many others that are this year.
Yeah.
The Lego games. It's a weird shout out because most of them came out 10 plus years ago.
Yeah.
Because the
And
company
years
closed
ago.
down over 5 years ago.
Tanner went down a rabbit
Yeah.
hole.
You're thinking of Telltales. They're Traveler's Tales.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Wait, I
get
thought
what-
Telltale made all the Lego games.
Traveler's Tales.
Yeah.
Both TT.
I used to think this
That's what
too.
people thought.
I got confused.
That's why I thought it because
Yeah.
Connor told me like 10
Yeah.
years ago.
So Tanner,
Like the Lego
I,
games.
I straight up
question.
thought they did. It's like their logos are the exact same too, with the T
Yeah,
and
it
T,
looks
and
the
it's like
same. Are you gonna say
it's very
Parker?
confused. It's Telltale and Traveler's Tales.
What have they been working on? Because I feel like Lego games haven't been coming out.
Skywalker
The
Saga.
Skywalker Saga was the big
Skywalker Saga
thing.
what
was
made you
literally-
decide playing the Lego games at the age of 20?
in
You wanna know,
2023?
It's super
In
ironic.
2023.
I brought it up earlier. It was Starfield because I watched a video. I think it was Skill Up. He does like reviews on YouTube, and he was reviewing Starfield, and he was like, "The space combat is worse than Skywalker Saga." And I was like, "No, there's no way." And I had Skywalker Saga downloaded, so I downloaded it because I couldn't play Starfield on my PC anyway. I started playing Skywalker Saga, and he was right. Space combat was cool, and I'm like, "What the frick?" A Lego game has better space combat where I can be the slave one flying, and
Yeah.
They
was
should just
sick,
make
and I
every
was like,
game
"Whoa."
Lego version of every game.
They should. But I'm not gonna lie, like I was just playing it, I was having fun. I'm like, I haven't played a Lego game in so long. And then I heard the sound of the studs in my ear. I was like,
Yeah.
sound. It
Classic.
was so nostalgic.
the mini
So it
kits.
just made me like, oh, I want to go back, and I wonder if I own any of the Lego games. I found the Lego Indiana Jones games. I saw that I had the Lego Batman game through Games with Gold. I downloaded that one, started playing it. Heard the mini kit sound. It was a lot of nostalgia at first, obviously.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, so nostalgic. I wasn't gonna do anything about it. I was just gonna try them out, and I kept playing. I just kept playing it. Getting the mini
playing.
kits.
And every day he kept inching closer.
His
of
gamer
us,
score
passing us on gamer
slowly
score.
moving up.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000.
His gamer score was straight up the studs.
80,000!
The studs you get.
It
It's
was-
just
it was
like
the
he was
stud-
getting
like,
true Jedi with every game.
Well, because look, I don't remember his name. I'm gonna try to find it, but I gotta shout out this YouTuber because his videos started getting recommended to me.
The algorithm gotcha.
Rugged Eagle, right? Rugged Eagle. He started getting recommended
out
to me
Rugged
Lego
Eagle.
games, and he was like, "Oh, here's all the neat Easter eggs in Lego games. Here's how fast it takes to beat." There's actually a huge speedrunning community for some of them, and then he's like, here's how to complete them. There's some of the easier games to complete, and I was like, that would be fun to go back and complete like Lego Batman.
Yeah.
The ones I hadn't played, I didn't care about it, but like the originals, get all the mini kits. Because as a kid, I had multiple times trying to get all the mini kits on Complete Saga, and I couldn't. So I was dumb. I was like, how do I get it? But now I can, because I'm a smart adult who has the internet.
I outsmarted the Lego
I
game.
have the internet, and I can be like,
I'm a
I
big
can't
boy
get
How,
this mini
how do
kit.
I get the mini
I
kit?
can't get this mini kit. Oh, but
Help
look,
me.
like I'm telling you, something about the Lego games. It's called like I saw it on the video. It's like Lego game idiocy. Because like there's some mechanics that I'm like, I can't get past this level, and it's a game made for 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
I beat this game,
Dude,
it's like
that
I
is a real
100% in
thing.
Cuphead.
That is a real thing, though. There was, I don't know if it was a thing just more so back in the day, but there were games that were straight up like ridiculously hard for kids. And I don't know how.
no reason.
It's like I
For no
struggle
reason.
now more as an adult than I did even as a kid. Like as a kid, I somehow figured it out. And now I'm like, how? Like
Well,
when
'cause
we
you
go
think about
back,
it
when I
too
was playing some of
deeply.
those Lego games with you, when we jumped in, I'm like, how did we figure this out as a kid? Because
Oh,
this
yeah.
is like
Oh, we
really, it's
possibly
way
could.
more complicated than it should be. It's like you
But it's
said, a
funny
game
'cause,
made
like,
for
look,
5-year-olds.
I played the more modern ones now, like DC Villains and Skywalker Saga. They're a lot more. I mean, not so much Skywalker Saga. It's pretty in depth actually, but like the other newer ones, like Incredibles and stuff, they're
Yeah.
way more kid centric and they're super simple, you know. But the old ones, oh man, they're hard. Like go
Mhm.
back and try to beat them. I dare you. You know what I mean? But I got this urge, I got this itch to start 100%ing them, and I just was going crazy, you know. But I got to shout them out because it was awesome. It was a fun month.
Yeah.
of just going crazy and beating them all.
I think it's a good idea to kind of play them in succession too, because you kind of get like in a groove with it. You know, it's like when you get, it's like, what do they call it with games? When you get the moment to moment gameplay,
In the zone.
and you get like in the zone, and yeah, there's nothing better than that. It's like when you get really into something big, like Tears of the Kingdom, something, or Elden Ring, you know, something huge.
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
I think it was at a time where 'cause I had just beat Zelda, and Destiny was kind of in a lull, which is like the game I play most. You know, I wasn't into Fortnite. The OG season hadn't happened yet. I was like, oh, what do I play? It was like perfect timing. And then right after it, I stopped doing it. New Destiny season, all that stuff. You know.
Very nice. Good
Yeah.
poll. Should I go to my 4, or does anyone else want to jump in?
Didn't you already do your 4?
With Lego games.
Oh, I did my 4. Sorry, I'm on 3. Did you do your 4?
I did my 4, so we're on 3.
Okay.
And my 3 is Lego Fortnite, which we talked a ton about already. So.
Okay. Cool. Nice. My number 3 is one I'm sure Hasten has on his list too. Spider-Man 2.
You
By
son of a
by,
bitch. It's
by-
number 2
by-
or 3?
3. It was a tough year. This
No,
is.
I get it.
It's one of those things where I feel so
It's gotta
bad.
be Hastings
I
number
feel
one.
so bad for Insomniac because Insomniac is one of my favorite developers, and 2 times now, when the first one came out in 2018, it's been my 3rd
own
favorite game of
fault.
the year, and they should be
Wait,
on
it's your number
paper,
3 right
and
now?
they are. They're like they should be
Because
my
they
favorite
launch
game
it in the craziest
because they
years
launched them in the
ever.
craziest years. Because in 2018, it was beat out by Smash Bros. And God of War.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then this year it's beat out by 2 others, which I won't say yet. But it's like,
I already know.
I'm sorry, it's a crazy year for games. It's insanely packed. It's insanely busy. But Spider-Man 2, amazing game. It's an improvement in every way over the first one and Miles Morales. I feel like all of them have just gotten better and improved in many ways. Obviously, Miles Morales is a little smaller than Spider-Man
Put
1.
that below your number 2.
Really, you don't know what my number 2 is yet, though.
I think
do
I
you
do.
know what his
Let me
number?
see.
I think I do.
So Spider-Man
There's
2
expense what his are.
is my
Yeah.
number 2. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Oh, okay.
kind of go there. So
Yeah, nice.
yeah, it's such. I was talking to Connor like I think 2 weeks ago, and I was telling him I was like, this isn't the best game I've ever played, but it is legitimately the funnest game I've ever played.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, which it's like, how do you separate those two? But
Yeah.
it's just that's how I have to describe it. It's so fun to just hop into the world and play Spider-Man and be
Yep.
Spider-Man, be Miles Morales. It's so good.
Going back to what I was saying earlier with the moment-to-moment gameplay stuff, like you just said, Spider-Man arguably has my favorite moment-to-moment gameplay of any game, like just straight up ever.
I mean, that's good. It
You
should,
know?
right? Like, as a superhero game, like, that's awesome.
It's
You know,
just so
playing
fun.
as
It's so
Spider-Man,
yeah, it's so addicting. It's so
can't get better
seamless,
than that.
and it's one of those games where you can straight up. I could put it on, have no quest to do, and just have fun swinging around in the open world for
Swinging
Be
around.
taking down random.
taking down
people.
random
Look, Parker.
thugs.
Parker had it on upstairs. He was showing me his ultrawide and stuff, and like I was just swinging, having fun. It's just
Mhm.
fun to swing. And I was gonna
Well-
say, like, games where you can fully envelop a character, especially a superhero, you become the Batman, you become Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard not to have fun with those. You know.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too where it's like, shout out back in the day to Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, which I loved
Yeah.
and was a great Spider-Man game. But I tell you what, Insomniac perfected the formula. Like they figured it out. They figured out exactly how to make the perfect Spider-Man game. And
Swinging.
I straight up
Swinging is
don't
so
think
good.
you could make a better Spider-Man game than what they've done with these.
Yeah.
And I'm genuinely
Especially
curious.
once you get to 2 and you start getting the other stuff that
Yep.
like the other movement stuff that you can get. It's
Oh my
just-
gosh.
it's absurd and it's so fun.
It changes the game completely because it's one of those things where Parker's been playing one, and I won't spoil what it is. It's in the trailer, so Parker should know, but I'm not going to say what it is just because he'll be
Venom.
surprised when he gets to it. But the
can
stuff
fly.
that they add,
What
it
is-
makes
Iron Man's.
yeah. There's Iron Man suit. You straight up are in Iron Man. No, but you the way you move, it just makes the game so much faster and more kinetic. And I was playing Spider-Man 1 on Parker's PC the other day, and I was like, man, it's still amazing. It is amazing. But I'm like, this is so much slower. It's so much slower than Spider-Man 2.
What is
Like,
that?
you can
Just
get around
the-
so much quicker. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Tell me.
Yeah, I know you don't care. It's web wings. So you can, like, basically fly straight up.
Oh, so I was
so-
right.
Yeah.
When
You
I
could be
said yeah.
swinging.
fly.
You could swing.
yeah.
Like you'll be swinging from a building,
It's like a
launch in
mix of
the air.
Batman and
then-
Spider-Man.
You'll start dropping, and you just throw out your wings, and you just start flying.
Yeah.
Like Superman. It's awesome.
It's amazing. And you can get around the city 10 times faster. And shout out to the gosh, I keep saying shout out. I got to stop saying that. But
No, keep saying
the
it.
PS5 is with the power of it and being
Shout
able
out to Connor for
to
saying
load.
shout out a lot.
Shout out to me for using my favorite phrase, shout out.
Good.
Shout out
but
to me using my favorite me.
you can straight up
Shout out.
load
Shout out
in
to the
on the
word
map and fast travel to anywhere on the map. Like anywhere. There's
Shout out
no
to Tanner saying shout out is the best shout out.
You know how there's like designated spots on most maps for games where it's like this is where you can fast travel. You can fast travel here. Kind of like in Tears of the Kingdom and stuff like that. It's like, oh, here's the shout out to the that you can just go anywhere. No, but it's straight up you can just do it anywhere on the map. If it is
Really?
yeah, just like a pin drop and it's instantaneous. Like you
Literally 1
load
second.
it 1 second
Like,
and you load
you
in.
press the button here, it like loads, and it like doesn't load, but it's just like
Doesn't even load.
like
Yeah,
a
it's like a
progress
swing.
bar that's like this.
Yeah, it's like
And then it just
you're
immediately
swinging in.
swings in. It's insane.
It's the power of the
Craziest loading screen
SSD.
I've ever seen. And I'm wondering how it's gonna work when it eventually does get to PC, because so many PCs don't have SSDs or like use them.
Yeah.
Like, and I honestly don't think the loading is gonna like the way
It'll
the
be
fast travel
slower
works,
for
it's
certain
gonna work
PCs
on
for sure.
PC.
I think it's
Yeah.
why PlayStation has a harder time sending their games to PCs because
Yeah.
They have to figure out. They have
And
to
why
figure
some
out
of
how
them
to
struggle.
do it.
Optimize it a lot, yeah.
Yeah, because their games are just optimized perfectly for their console, which
and like
obviously
Nintendo,
makes
like
sense.
Yep. People rag on these companies. It's like they perfect them for their one console, though. You know,
Mhm.
and it's why Xbox games launching on PC usually have problems. You know, they launch and they don't run the way best. You know, it's
Yep.
better to optimize it for one and have it run perfectly.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2, amazing game. I loved
Shout
where
out
they
to
took the
Spider-Man 2.
yeah, shout out to Spider-Man 2. I love where they took the story as well. I love that they took, and I will not say any spoilers whatsoever, but I love that they took some
Wolverine at the end. which is
some
cool.
stories that we've kind of seen before and twisted them and mixed them up in ways that you wouldn't expect. That's as much as I can say without giving stuff away. But also probably one of my favorite, or not even probably, but just straight up one of my favorite moments of all time in a game is the opening boss fight in this game, which is so good. I'm excited for Parker to get there at some point because it is probably the best boss fight, like opening boss fight to a game ever. It's so
Now he
awesome.
knows there's a
Great way to
boss
start the
fight.
game. Yeah, most.
Well, I have
a lot of
2
games
games
start
to
with it.
get through, so before I can start.
Yeah, you got a ways, but amazing game. Hasten, you have anything else to say about it?
No, I mean you pretty much nailed it. Amazing game.
Alrighty. Anyone else got something to pop in before I go to my number 2?
I'll say
All right,
one.
we're all yes.
I'll say one.
Well, yeah. What's up?
Destiny. Sorry.
Like Lightfall. I heard that was great.
What the frick is happening? So shout out Destiny. Rough beginning of the year. They had Lightfall, which was the highest selling expansion, and then players just. I mean, look, it was not the greatest expansion in my opinion, story wise, but we had some of the best seasons ever. People rag on Destiny way too much. I hate the Destiny community so much. Such crybabies.
Community, their community itself, they hate the game.
They
It
are
seems
the
like it's-
worst community I've ever seen. They're ruining the game for themselves.
It kind of
That's
reminds me.
hilarious.
It
I wish
seems
I
like
could
almost
say
like the Star Wars community, where it's like nobody loves and hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
True.
No, and I'm genuinely serious. They need to make like a
That's true,
biopic. I want to make a biopic about like how a community ruined the game, because it's the community that ruined it. You know, they've made every decision. They've made every change. Yeah, sure, you could say, oh, the developers put in the change, but yeah. Anyway, I think the seasons were great, and I still love the game. It still pops out some banger content, stuff that's I've never seen before, and I wish you guys.
Here's the
would play
thing: is Destiny has such great bones. It's like Halo. Like
Not
if
gonna
Halo
happen,
was to
pal.
just pick it up,
Just kidding.
it has
Mhm.
great bones. It is a great game.
Yeah,
But-
just playing it is just it's so fun, you know.
Yeah.
And like I said, like look, story Destiny's always struggled with that, always has. But the gameplay is unmatched. You know, Parker said the other day where he's like, Apex has the best movement I've ever experienced. And for me, it's always been Destiny. They've only gotten better. They make the game faster every expansion. They add new movement capabilities. It's insane. You know, where you can grapple, like Spider-Man. You know, constantly.
They add grappling. That's
Wiping,
cool.
yeah, with the new subclass.
Oh,
It's
that's sick.
awesome. You know,
yeah, that
I
was it.
always urge people to play Destiny because it's an old game. I feel like it doesn't get its name out there enough. Bungie sucks at marketing Destiny.
It
so
is
much.
weird. Yeah, not to interrupt, but
I only
it's-
hear about them when they do expansions.
Yeah.
I never hear.
Well, there's 2 times I hear about Destiny and Bungie, and it's either when there's a new thing launching, which is once every 6 months or whatever, or when they're like laying off employees or
Something's
getting in
wrong,
trouble
yeah.
with something like something bad,
Or
So
telling Naughty Dog that their game sucks.
yeah, canceling
Hey, look,
other PlayStation
they
games.
did them
and
a
stuff.
service. Would you want them to be in the same water? Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, the problem that I have with them is like a new season launches and they don't release the season trailer until after the season is launched, and they do one trailer, and no one ever sees it anywhere. Like, you gotta tell people. There's people that will try Destiny if there's a new season. They see something sick, they're like, "Whoa, that looks cool. I want to try it." I see so many people who are like, "That game looks like Destiny." I'm like, Destiny doesn't even look like that anymore. You know what I mean? But they think it's just sci-fi. But Destiny's magic and witches and creepy stuff.
He's
I
saying
don't know.
it's me. I'm the one who does that.
Not just you. Even the Destiny community does it. They'll be like, "That game looks like Destiny." You know,
Yeah.
Starfield looks like Destiny. I'm like, you ever played Destiny? No, but like, yeah, and then that kind of swings into the thing with Bungie. Like, once again, like we were talking about earlier, I don't know what they're doing. You know, it's sad to see the gaming industry become this way, where an amazing studio doing their best can just be getting screwed over by, the world and the economy and people, horrible management, CEOs and stuff.
Yeah, it's I'm
Right,
interested to see.
He's gone too. Sony CEO.
Yeah, Jim
Oh, that's
Ryan's
true.
gone now.
I
Too.
mean,
No
not
new
even him.
leaders.
Not even him necessarily. More like
Yeah.
Pete Parsons, who's the Bungie CEO. He publicly said that they're not the type of company to make their CEOs take pay cuts. F you.
That drives me insane when I see that CEOs make as much as they do, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, honestly,
Yeah.
what are you actually?
You have
doing?
so much
Like,
money.
You're not even developing the game.
You're sitting in board meetings all day talking about
Well,
that's
most
not
of
the
them-
best for Destiny.
And most of them don't
I
even
haven't
know
played it
what's
since Resident
going
Evil,
on
the
with
first
the
game.
actual
what's
end
it-
product.
Bobby Kotick. I think he was making over $100 million at the end there.
Yeah.
He was
Like, there's
probably
no
one
way.
of the
There's
Well,
no way
and-
he was doing anything.
And you know he got a golden parachute on his way out too, so he's
Oh, yeah,
probably
he just-
like,
he drove
Microsoft
his-
gave them the biggest freaking.
he drove his yacht right out
severance
there and
package.
Yeah.
cried the whole way.
yeah,
for sure.
cried with cash. Yeah,
I guarantee you, it was part of the deal with Microsoft, and Microsoft just, gave him whatever he wanted to leave. But
so I'm gonna use it again, but shout out to Iwata, Nintendo's old
he's
I
a
think he was the
great
CEO,
boy.
but he straight
Take a
up
cut.
took a pay cut to when Nintendo was struggling during the Wii U era. He took a pay cut to be able to keep the studios and people in business, and
That's cool.
that's a baller thing to do as a CEO.
I think we need more responsibility in the game industry. We need people taking responsibility. I think CEOs are this. It's like I said earlier, where it's changing. The game industry's changing. It won't be this way for long. Eventually these CEOs will be held responsible. Their
Mhm.
game's failing, not the freaking developers. Oh, Lightfall didn't sell as well. It's probably the developer's fault. Right. Game's just not.
Oh, Anthem
fun.
failed with barely any development time. That's
Right.
their fault.
It's their fault. We forced them to rush it out early. It's their fault.
Didn't give him enough time to plan, content for a live
Did you
service
ever?
type game.
Did you guys
before
ever
going
look
forward.
in? Like Jason Schreier wrote a whole thing about
Yeah.
the Anthem
Oh
thing.
yeah,
And it was
So
like
sad.
the head guy, like the CEO, had him change the game like 3 times.
Yeah.
In the middle of development. Like
Yeah, I
3
remember
months
about that.
before the game developed, he's like,
Well, and then they were
add the flying back in. Guys.
they were
It's like, what?
preparing a huge relaunch.
yeah.
Apparently, it was supposed to be awesome.
Anthem
Getting
Next
great,
or something like that.
it was getting great, like with the playtesters, great
Mhm.
reviews and stuff, and then they killed it. Stupid idiots.
Yeah.
EA and Activision. Oh, we don't like you guys.
Yeah.
Bungie.
Boo.
Complete side note, but yeah,
Thumbs down.
Studios and CEOs do crap like that all the time to get tax cuts and things like that. Like we see it in the movie industry all the time with HBO and Warner Bros. Doing crap like that for
Oh, and that's
Yeah,
a whole
Bat-
other thing.
Not releasing
Batgirl,
Yeah.
that Acme Coyote movie or whatever. That's also having that issue right now. There was a Scooby Doo movie that they did the same thing with. It's unacceptable. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, it's a good poll with Destiny there. Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Cool. Well, Hasten did his 2, so I guess I should go to my number 2, which Parker, you said you wanted to guess.
Resident Evil.
RA4. Yeah.
You guys got it. Good guess. Nice job.
I
Now
was
here's the
actually
thing.
scared. I was thinking it might be Tears.
I honestly, in full
I was scared
disclosure,
too.
I had a hard time deciding actually because the biggest reason is because I technically haven't beat Tears of the Kingdom yet, and the thing is
It'll change your
there's-
mind once you do.
well,
You
here's the
just
thing.
spoiled your number
I
one.
I adore what I've already played of Tears of the Kingdom, and I guess I'll just say it because it's already clear.
Yeah.
But that's my game of the year. Tears of the Kingdom is my game of the year, and I haven't quite beat it yet. But I almost considered putting RE4 above it purely because I've beat it 3 times now, and I
my
adore
gosh.
it.
That's
RE4
where
is
your time has
so
gone.
good. Yeah, and that's another thing too. RE4
Speak
is
out of
so
war.
good. And the only reason it's probably not my game of the year is because Tears of the Kingdom came out this year, and because it's technically a remake. But I gotta say, some of my least favorite discourse that's happened this year is people arguing that RE4 doesn't deserve to be like nominated for game of the year and stuff like that
It's a remake,
because
bruh.
it's a remake, and I people are entitled to their opinions. That's totally fine. If you think that, that's your opinion. But I gotta say,
I
it's
think
like
that-
if you've played this game and if you've actually played both the
it's
original
not
and
a
the new one,
remastered.
they are so different and completely built from the ground up. It's not even remotely the same game. The only thing that's the same is the story structure. That's it. Like everything else is completely new, and the performances are amazing. They make the they give the game a whole new breath of fresh air in terms of balancing kind of a more serious tone with the remake, while also still holding true to the original with some of the kind of cheesiness. And there's tons of added content Like it's not even just the original story structure. Like there's brand new parts to this game. You know, brand new things that never happened, encounters, bosses, enemy types,
Well, look,
guns,
that should show the
everything. It's
passion
like
of the
it's a
developers
brand new
that
game.
They can throw that in. Because look, if it was a cash grab, they would have just made it shot for shot.
Yeah.
Remake
Well,
shot for shot, but
and here's the thing: there's a place for remakes that are shot for shots. Like, but I know like Metroid Prime Remastered is a better example where that is like a shot
what
for
I mean
shot
is,
remake.
like, it shows like yeah, once again, nothing wrong with wanting to do that, but it does
Mhm.
show that they care a lot about Resident Evil 4 remake. You know,
Yeah.
they
Well-
want it to be something unique that you guys experience.
Well, and there's a ton of time that obviously goes into shot for shot remakes as well. Like, no taking away from that
Well, yeah,
whatsoever.
you have to
Um,
remake it all in a
yeah.
completely new engine.
But RE4 is the furthest thing from a shot for shot remake that it's hard to even say. Like, I almost don't even like to call it a remake because it is so.
It's kind of like
different.
Willy Wonka or whatever the original one is with Gene Simmons. It's like
Or
saying
Gene
that the one
Wilder,
with
yeah.
Gene
Gene
Wilder.
Simmons, yeah.
Gene Simmons, Gene Wilder is in that
Is the same
one
as
with,
Wonka.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
is a shot for shot remake.
yeah.
Like,
Or-
are there
or even the
similarities?
Timothy
Sure. Are there
Chalamet one,
similar
yeah.
scenes? Yeah. In fact, there's scenes that are almost identical, but no, it's a completely different movie. It's not
Yeah,
the same. At
and it's
all.
they had to shoot it from the beginning. They had to have a brand new script. They had brand new performances. Once again, yeah, there's just brand new encounters, brand new enemy types, brand new weapons, and it's just so good. Like it looks visually stunning too. It's probably the ironic thing is that Tears of the Kingdom is my game of the year, but RE4 might be my favorite
Yours
game of
is
all
going
time.
crazy.
Really?
My screen's going nuts. My screen's going crazy.
It's going crazy now.
Might
it's-
be your,
it's-
you
it's
said
freaking
that
out
at
of
the
hand.
worst time, Burger.
Yeah.
There you go.
What was that?
You said
Why?
that at the worst time, Burger. Connor's like, that is my favorite game of all, and then you're like, your screen's going crazy.
Your screen going crazy, man. No, but yeah, straight
Favorite
up,
game
it's
of
like
all
I
time.
have to think about it, and I'd have to really sit down with it because Smash Ultimate's obviously probably my favorite game as well. But RE4 remake is so good that it genuinely is. It could be. It's too soon. It's too early for me to say it's my favorite game of all time. It's only been out less than a
Resident
year.
Evil 4 was already.
Yeah, exactly. It was already
there,
up
right?
there.
Up there, yeah.
And
yeah,
so,
true.
Just a
and this
better
one's
version of
just,
that,
in my
basically.
opinion, an improvement in every way without taking away anything from the original. Like the original, you could go back and play at any point, and it's gonna feel just as special because it's different. It's a different experience. Whereas this is like, once again, something new, something different that you can play them in the same, week or same month and have completely different experiences, and they both are still amazing. And that's why Capcom just absolutely crushed it with it. I've bragged about or
Yeah.
I've gone on about it enough with
I mean, look, I love what
RE4,
they're
but
doing with Resident
super
Evil.
amazing.
I love that they're doing that with the remakes. You know, you've
Yeah.
liked every single one. They've been critically acclaimed.
Yep.
Keep doing it. I hope they keep it up.
RE3 is the only
Yeah.
one that people didn't like quite as much, mostly because it was just smaller. They didn't fully remake RE3, but other than that, like they've killed it. And Capcom, here's to hoping we get RE9 in the next year or two.
I'm
'cause,
excited. I'm excited
excited.
to play it because I've always wanted to play 4, but I
Mhm.
just
Same.
never wanted to go back and play that other stuff.
well, and
Like
that's the thing too.
The movement just didn't age well to me.
No,
So
no.
Gotta play it
and-
on VR. It's
and I'll-
your movement.
And I'll be honest, it's
No.
like it's one of those things where from someone who played it back when, it came out around that time, it's like it was great at that time. But yeah, if you didn't ever play it and you're playing it now, I totally see that. It's tank controls. You literally can't move and shoot at the same time. And for most people, that's going to be a huge issue. People trying to revisit the original RE4 nowadays, it's going to be like, this is so slow. This is so clumsy and tight. Like I don't feel free or moving at all. And this game, it's like they took all of that and made it so modernized, especially with the parrying system. You have a knife that you can straight up parry attacks now with, which is such a modern gameplay mechanic that is so sick for this game. And it's little things like Leon will straight up have moments where if enemies get too close to you, he holds the gun like John Wick. So he'll like pull the gun close to his head and then like pull
that's
out as
cool.
they get far. So if he gets close to them, he's like, goosh,
The
goosh, goosh,
attention
goosh.
to detail.
Shooting
where
like
they
that.
didn't have to do that.
Oh,
They
yeah,
could have
no.
just made it clip through the body,
Totally.
but they decided to.
Yeah.
It's cool. I love stuff like
It's
that.
awesome. And
Once
then they
again,
kept
it shows the passion.
they kept a lot of the same old goofiness as well. Like Leon can still suplex the enemies and stuff like that. He still has his cheesy one-liners
spinning
like "Where'd everybody go? Bingo!" You know, and it's like those are classic moments, and they kept him for this.
Still play Barbie Girl when he's
Yeah,
driving.
I wish. Yeah, those old YouTube videos, those were funny. But yeah,
Shout out to those guys.
yeah, shout out to
shout
those
out to
guys
the guy
that
Those
Shout out
guys.
to the Resident
The
Evil 4
RE4
made that video.
Barbie song.
parody game.
Oh! I have one more to bring up.
Yeah.
Duh. And Parker will agree with me on this one.
Minecraft.
Black Ops 4. No,
Oh.
Black Ops 4.
Oh,
Black Ops
well,
4.
but that's not.
A
Okay.
game that came out
No, we did it
7
this
years
year. It
ago.
was this year. It wasn't all this year, but most
Sure.
of them were. Here's what I'll say. And Parker played Black Ops 4 for the first time last November, or 2022, like November. Right. But we finished all the rest of the maps at the beginning of this year.
Talking about
Black Ops
zombies.
4. Black Ops 4 Zombies. Black Ops 4 Zombies got a lot of flack
Underrated.
back in the day, right? And people hated it. It is. Parker would
Best.
agree. I don't know.
The best.
It's
yeah,
the best
best.
zombies experience. If you take it out of take the context away. People always say like, yeah, you look at it out of context. Out of context, it is the best. You know, I understand that at the time people were looking for something different, right? But if you go back and play it now, it's amazing. You know, we played all the maps. They were banger after banger. People were like, this map sucks. Don't play it. Blood of the Dead is the worst map. It's like, oh, it's probably my favorite map they've ever made. You know, and so we gotta shout that out. It's my shout out. You know, I'm shouting out Black Ops 4.
Shout out
Shout
Black Ops
out.
4.
But seriously, though,
yeah,
I-
Black
you
Ops
know.
4.
If there is people
Somehow,
watching and you play
after playing
zombies, F the zombies YouTubers. They
After
all
playing-
rag on Black Ops 4. It's awesome.
After playing Black Ops 4 Zombies, it somehow beat Black Ops 3 Zombies, which I didn't
Which
think
is
would be possible.
Borderline
So-
god tier. Black
Yeah.
Ops 3.
Nothing beats Black Ops 2 zombies.
Okay. Anyways, we don't take Connors and hates.
Well, here's what I will say: as someone who likes zombies, but is definitely more casual, dude, that demon keeps popping up on my screen. It's so
I
weird.
know. I
What the
keep seeing
heck
it
is
scaring
that?
me. Huh?
Yeah, it's freaking me
Wait,
out.
Connor.
But
Do you...
what is
What's
that?
behind
Oh
you?
my gosh. But the as someone who's a more casual zombies fan, but still enjoys it, Black Ops 4 Zombies
It was
is awesome.
really fun.
It's really
Yeah,
cool.
like
the
X, what was it,
Gladiator
9.
Yeah,
9
X. Yeah, 9.
X or
Blood
what
of
was
the
it?
Dead.
Yeah.
Those were
We
so
also
good.
played
Yeah, Blood of
the
the
cheat
Dead.
on
I didn't like the
uh,
Titanic one
whatever.
as much, but that
Well,
was
look, people
so
people didn't like it because they got rid of Juggernog and they made Juggernog just borderline. You have it already, but that's better, especially for players like you guys who are more casuals. You don't want to die in 2 hits. People are such babies about stuff. I was one of them. I have to admit, I ragged on it too. But give things a try. Change your mind. You know,
Be
I always
open to
rag on
change.
single player
That's
games.
true. We
but-
ragged on it before we even tried
we
to
did.
beat any of them.
Yeah, I remember we were dreading it. Me and Parker were like, we're beating every map, and then we have Black Ops 4. Loved it.
We were. That's
Every minute
right.
of it.
But
Nice. Good pull. So
All right,
Parker's
you
game of
guys
the year,
ready
Black Ops 4.
for game of the
Is that
year?
your game of the year, Parker? Is that
Game of
your
the year
game
time, baby.
Black Ops 4 is not. I
If
mean,
it wasn't for this one, that's my
You would
game of
probably
This
pick
year?
like Apex or Fortnite, right, Parker?
yeah.
For something, if
So-
you count like
live
new content
service,
for this
yeah.
year, yeah, like a live service thing. I mean, Rocket League 2.
Probably. Yeah, Rocket League, Minecraft.
Modern Warfare
Minecraft
2.
is always up there.
Pretty good. We played that quite a bit. Which is-
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2
MW2,
came out
yeah,
last year,
shipment
but
was fun.
most of the content was this year for it. So
I mean,
Well,
we played it
I mean,
mostly this year.
MW3 is just MW2.
DLC.
So,
same game. So
Boo.
yeah,
so basically, MW3, I guess, is my.
no shout
How
out,
did I do that?
no shout out to
Why did I do 3?
MW3.
Whoops.
I have to shout out one more. Fallout 4. I already said it earlier, but yeah. Fallout. Anyway,
Actually,
next one. Game of
right
the
after we
Oh,
right
wait,
after
I
we do
forgot
game
one.
of the year, I do have.
I forgot one.
Yeah,
real
go
quick.
for it.
Last of Us Part 1.
That was last year,
That's my
but
game
yeah,
there.
That was a
Oh,
great
it
one.
was?
yeah.
Really?
Idiot.
It's
Yeah,
been that
2022.
long?
Yep. I know that
Literally
because it
frozen
was
in
the
the
week of my
bucket.
wedding. I was
We're not
on my
frozen.
honeymoon when
That's
it came out.
crazy.
Am I
It's
frozen?
been that long.
No, you're good.
No, you're
I thought it
good.
was this year.
I do want to run down. I keep a list of all the games I played in a year, and which ones I beat. I'm gonna go through that after we do game of the year because it's kind of interesting. Some of the
All
ones I
right,
played.
game of the year.
Game of the year
The
time,
Lord
baby.
of the Rings Gollum.
Let's go.
Yay!
Dude, Lord of the Rings Gollum
Oh,
is so
gosh.
good.
I was
The
gonna say
gameplay,
copyright.
well, the gameplay in Gollum is like top notch. When
Well, and it's
Well,
like
who
it's such
when
an
you're crawling
improvement
around
that they could have
it's
made such a
an
good
improvement
game.
from War in the North, which was
Yeah.
already
well, see when
one
they
of the
when they
best games
decided
of
to
all
make
time.
a prequel to War in the North, I was pretty confused because I was like,
well, and not even a
where would
prequel,
the
it was
story fit? Like, how does Gollum fit in War in the North? Because War in the North didn't have
Not
Gollum.
even a prequel.
a
But-
complete remake, like remaster,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. It's so
Pre-sequel.
good.
Reboot. Like,
Yeah, reboot.
Yep.
I mean, like you know,
I didn't like how they
Animations-
changed.
The animations are great as well
Yeah.
too. Like the way
Well, and I
they were able
love-
to make Gollum look like Gollum.
Yeah.
and I love the
Yeah.
little tuft of
With his
hair,
big
the tuft of
eyes,
hair they put
really
on
good.
top of him.
Yeah, we don't have any other games that we like better than Gollum. this
Nope,
year.
Gollum was number
Yeah,
one.
What else? What else even was there?
Yeah, nothing.
Right.
All right,
Oh,
reveal it, Asen.
yeah.
Reveal the real one.
Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Let's
is the number one
go.
game for me.
I
Not
haven't
my
played
game of the
it.
year.
For
My game of the
it's
year.
my game of the year, and I believe Connor's game of the year
Yep.
at least.
It is my game of the year. Honestly.
Okay, and Tanner's.
Yeah.
And
Wait, what
Parker's
is
if you
you-
would
what is
get
yours?
his stubborn ass and
If you
Okay,
actually played
what-
it.
but
Game of the year.
realistically, Spider-Man 2 would probably end up being my game of the year if I had played it.
But if you had played all of them, it'd probably be Tears of the Kingdom.
No.
We'll never know. This is a
Never
very
even played it.
what if situation.
But I played Breath of the Wild, and I don't know. I just don't know if I like that type of game as much.
Well,
You know who said
You never
that
know if you
same
don't
I
try.
have to
thing?
see. I have to.
yeah, you know who else said the same thing? That's true. Yeah,
That guy.
Hasten back in
I
the
don't know if
day.
he's right there
Oh.
for you guys.
He's right
No,
here
no.
for me.
Where am
So
I?
this way.
He's right
he's
here.
right here.
So I should wait.
You
but
point-
Where am I?
Point to your opposite corner, Tanner.
Am I to your right, Connor?
Yes.
I'm up
Point
here.
point to your opposite corner.
I'm right here.
I'm right.
I don't know what that means. Point
Right
to your
here.
opposite corner.
Okay.
Other corner. Other corner. Other corner.
Where I'm pointing.
No,
this
other
way.
corner.
Opposite
Other
corner.
Opposite corner.
This is
There you go.
There
Yep,
you
that's
go,
Hasten.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's Hasten.
There's
Yeah,
Hasten
this
right
is
there.
Hasten.
This
No,
guy-
Parker,
Parker,
you go the
reverse
other
it.
way.
Hey,
Reverse
hey,
it.
Parker.
Parker,
Yeah.
reverse it.
Reverse it.
Parker, this way.
There's Hasten.
Yeah, there's
There you
Hasten.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Parker, this guy
That'll be the thumbnail.
said, I hated Breath of the Wild.
Mhm.
It sucks.
Wait.
I hated
Let
it.
me.
He was a
And you know
non-believer.
what me and Connor said? Me and Connor said, beat the tutorial, you dumbass.
We said you're dumb, boy.
Beat the tutorial.
Yeah,
Then he
get
beat
past
the
get past
tutorial
the
and he
Great
loved it.
Plateau.
You're right. It is an amazing game.
Yeah.
I do
And
wanna
Tears
try
of the
it.
Kingdom
I just switched games.
deserves and more awards than it got this year because it's honestly one of my favorite games I've ever played.
Yep.
And it's tough that it didn't basically win any awards other than maybe like IGN's Game of
Yeah.
the Year, but like,
Got action adventure, Jeff Keighley's, but yeah.
but yeah, the,
mean,
Basically, that didn't win.
all the abilities they added to it, like fuse and
Oh, yeah.
all the other stuff that they've added, just makes it so much fun. The
Mm-hmm.
the weapon degradation is like completely fixed because you're just having fun fusing crap together, anyways.
Well, and
And
I'll say,
weapons
like,
can
to
last
that
way
point of,
longer,
like,
too.
weapon degradation with Breath of Wild, it was hard, but with this, it's almost necessary because you want to try new fuses and stuff.
You're
You
like
just dodge
hoping weapons
your
break.
thing.
You're
You can
hoping
try
weapons
something new,
break
yeah.
so you can try something else. You
Yeah,
fuse a
exactly.
mushroom to a stick or something.
Mhm.
Well, and look, like, I'd say it's easily the best Zelda game of all time. It's probably one of the best games of all time for me, easily. Yeah,
Well, it's one of
amazing.
those-
like
It's one of those things
Think
where
about
if you
all
think
this
about it, Nintendo had to make different abilities for every thing that you, for the most part,
It
that you
confuse.
combine and confuse. And not only that, but this game is, to me, super special because it allows you to go through the game truly in a way that you want to, in the sense that when you go into a shrine, or what are they
Completely
called? Are they called a shrine in Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
When you go into a shrine, you can do it in 50 different ways. There is a correct way to do it, but that doesn't matter. You can do it however you
I think
want. You can
Nintendo knew
completely
that
break
when
the
they made
system.
it.
Yeah.
you know.
And that's amazing. Like the fact that there's a game
it's
where there's 50 different ways you can do something and you can do it in a way that nobody ever intended you to is just a testament
Yeah.
to how amazing Nintendo is, especially at developing games like Zelda. They're just so good. Like I don't know how they do it, and I don't know how they were able to improve on the mechanics of Breath of the Wild in such a great way.
Game that was already
A game that was already
perfect.
amazing. Like in my opinion, probably the best game of all time. And then
Yeah,
they
10
made
out
a
of
sequel
10,
that
100 out of 10.
is better.
beats that. It's insane. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. How'd they do it?
Yeah, it's nuts. And I will say, just for the sake of talking about Tears of the Kingdom a little bit, spoilers, minor spoilers for something that you figure out within the first hour of the game. But the fact that there is 3 levels to Tears of the Kingdom's map, that is basically 3 whole Hyrules in terms of
that's in some of my moments of this year. Is like my
Finding
when I
it,
first when
me
I was
too.
playing the game and I was like, there was like this hole and I was like, what the freak is this?
Yeah.
So I jumped down the hole and I'm like, what? There's a whole
There's
nother
a
world
whole-
down
yeah.
here. It's like
How they
What?
kept that under wraps, I have no idea. Because that was something when I discovered that in the game, I was like, there's no way. I was like, this must just be a tiny little area. Like when I first went down the hole, I was like, this must be like just a small little cave or something.
Yeah, there's no way this is like.
Yeah, but then when I realized it was its own map, I was like, how did Nintendo hide this from us? How did no one know that this was going to be a thing in the game?
Literally the size of Hyrule.
Yeah. It's literally the Hyrule map, like
it's
upside
everything
down.
under Hyrule.
Yeah. And then the sky is amazing too. I know the sky is much more sparse, but it's still,
so quality.
the sky is
any bigger, I feel like it would have been too much.
Yeah, the sky is my personal favorite area to traverse too. It's just so
The amount of
pretty.
like you were saying, the amount of uniqueness to the weapons and the abilities and look, if you had to say like Hasten's talking about moments, I think some of my favorite moments of this year, also were Tears of the Kingdom, just like fusing a minecart to my shield and then grinding rails like it's Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Like it's insane. Like I'm playing a game where I'm like, I could do limitless possibilities in a Zelda game.
Yeah.
Like I could see me doing that in like Minecraft or Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, but Zelda, it's crazy. It's awesome, you know? A game that's already so quality, has amazing combat, amazing story, the best music, and oh man, you got to beat it. One of the best endings ever.
That's what I was gonna say
so
next. Is like the storytelling in this one compared to the first one is so much better.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Even based off of the
Nintendo character
amount I've played, I would agree with that, and I haven't even beaten it yet. But already, I can tell that the story,
all the boss fights, are so much better than the last one. You know what I mean? I can't.
I agree. Look, I'll say that. That's not a spoiler. Is the dungeons? Look, something a gripe I had with Breath of the Wild was I didn't like the Divine Beasts. I thought they were kind of boring. You know, I didn't like the same look and.
I had to just look it up because I was like, I can't figure this out.
Yeah,
it went back to that.
Boring and
like I can't. This game is for kids, and I still can't.
I can't do it.
Yeah, you're like I do. But yeah, like the Divine Beasts, I think were more boring. I mean, I know people like them, but the dungeons.
I liked them, but I know what you guys are saying. Yeah. Well, and they're very the Divine Beasts were very similar looking wise. Like
it was the same look. Yeah,
it was the same
that
look.
Was my biggest
whereas
gripe. Look,
with Tears, all of them are drastically different in the way they look and function.
Completely different.
Yeah.
You know?
And
I think with the Divine Beast, they were all similar difficulty, and I think that was the problem I had, which was like I didn't feel more challenged when I got later on. But there's some in Tears of the Kingdom where I'm like, this took me 2 seconds.
Also, each boss felt the same, like that you played.
Because they're all the Ganon Blights.
They're all just the Ganon Blights. So.
And then all the bosses to the Kingdom completely different.
Completely different.
All unique. All great.
Well, and
I don't want to spoil it, actually.
Well, and not spoiling any of the cutscenes, but I will say there is some cutscenes in this, and I haven't even finished the game yet. But that straight up made me tear up, which is crazy. Yeah. I never would have
one
thought.
Or two specifically.
I never thought that I would like tear up watching like these cutscenes in Zelda, but I was straight up
Especially
like
Zelda,
there were some that were so inspiring and hype that I was like yeah, let's freaking go! Like I was like tearing up at how hype they were.
And I'll tell you, there's multiple times to this day. Like I said, I'm going through my second playthrough, and I get goosebumps still listening to the music.
Yep.
When you go in and it shows Raru's hand on Ganondorf, like when it's at the very beginning.
At the beginning, yeah. Oh.
And it's like and I'm like, oh,
it's so,
so cool.
The,
the backwards
in that game is
music.
The opening scene in that game is so awesome.
That was something that I didn't suspect either. That it just once again, shout outs here, but that opening walking bit where you're underground and you're just walking with
Yeah.
Zelda with
Oh yeah.
the torch. Like I was not
Straight
expecting
into
that.
the gameplay.
Straight into the
It
gameplay.
jumped right into the gameplay.
Yeah, I was like, oh frick! I did not expect the game to start this way, which was super cool.
Mhm.
And that's what I was gonna say as well. My favorite score for this year in a video game, Tears of the Kingdom. It's
Oh,
it's
easy.
so pretty.
Nothing compares from
I
that.
just love the piano music too when you're like wandering around. It's so peaceful and scenic. I could just get lost in Hyrule anytime. And one thing I love, just another thing I want to say, is all of the another shout out, the villagers and stuff like that. Just I love that they all have their own unique stories, and they all some of them have connections back to Breath of the Wild, and I love that they actually
saw
had
what it was.
those connections. What was it?
Sorry, I had to say.
No, yeah.
It was like a picture of Aragorn.
Of
It's
Aragorn?
straight up like a wallpaper of Aragorn. What's your wallpaper?
It's not Aragorn.
What is it?
It's like sci-fi, like I don't even know how to describe it. Like those
Okay,
retro, like
it's
retro
Aragorn.
sci-fi. What the frick?
It's like a picture of Aragorn. Like
I
don't know
wonder
how to
if I have a
describe
window
it.
open of like something from Lord of the Rings. That's so weird.
I gotta try to take a picture of it because I saw it pretty clearly for like a split second.
That's hilarious. Well, I mean,
It was-
that is my favorite movie of all time, so maybe it's
Makes sense.
Trying to tell me
Camera,
something.
camera.
All right, here's
Yeah.
another list. Favorite movies of all time. Okay,
yeah.
ready?
We're gonna
All
start
right, we're
this
starting
from
at
number 10.
Starting out.
But going back to the moments, though, if you have any moments you want to shout out from games this year, I have a couple from Zelda I just wanted to say real quick. Once again, super minor spoilers for something that happens in the first hour of the game. So if you don't want to hear that,
What are you doing, The Rock?
go 20 seconds ahead. But the
Ooh.
opening title scene in
Bummer.
Tears of the Kingdom, when you fall from the Sky Island and the
Oh,
music swells
my
and the
God.
title card comes in, one of the hypest moments I've ever experienced in a game. It's so good. And then every time you launch out of the sky cannon
Sky view?
things, yeah, the sky views into the sky, and you scan the music that comes in like and
and
you scan
when you go
the
into
land.
the depths.
Oh,
it's
with the
like,
horn. Oh my gosh.
"Whoa."
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it's so
good.
awesome. It's so spooky.
And you could see like the darkness.
Yeah.
And then the freaking red creature.
Oh my gosh. Zelda nails ambiance. Like, holy crap. So good. Also,
Shout out to the audience.
no,
Shout out
another,
to Nintendo's. Shout out to the word ambiance.
yeah. Shout out also to gosh, it's hard
No,
to
shout out to what
say,
Connor's
talk about
saying
stuff
right
without
now.
spoiling stuff.
Shout out to what he's saying.
There's something they add on to from Breath of the Wild, where you have a house in Breath of the Wild, and there's something that you do in Tears of the Kingdom that's similar, and it's awesome. They made it 10 times better.
Yeah, it is definitely.
So shout out to that.
Once again, they improved on every single thing, even stuff they didn't need to.
Yep.
Like the house thing. They didn't need to do anything with that. Like, I don't even think people realized that was in the first game. Like, I didn't until my second playthrough, and I'm like,
Wait, what?
There's
Really?
a house in Breath of the Wild?
Oh,
Like,
wow.
I didn't know. Because I didn't spend a lot of time doing that kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Like, just wandering around the village and talking to the villagers. But
That's honestly,
yeah.
in all truthfulness, why I probably haven't beaten Tears of the Kingdom yet. Is I just play so
So
deliberately where I do every little thing like that. Like if I get a side mission
You don't
from one
wanna
of the
miss
random
anything.
NPCs, I go and do that, and I'll focus on doing that until I get it done. Whereas most people probably would just be like, "Oh, I'll get back to this later." But I'm like, I'm gonna go do this, and then I'll get to the main story later, which which slows me down. But yeah. Any other moments anyone want to shout out before we wrap up?
Moments this year, I have. I beat Elden Ring this year.
Nice.
And I put so many hours into that last year. And then I stopped playing because I got stuck on a boss. And then can't remember when it was.
Been there,
but
done
it was
that.
I think it was like 4 months ago. But I was like, I'm going to beat this game. Like, so I hopped back in. And I spent about a week, and I just grinded through the end of it. And I'm so glad I did. It's just one of those games that I needed to beat,
Yep.
just like to have that under my belt.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that was awesome.
I want to play.
Especially
it
'cause you got so
so
far.
bad.
Yep.
You can borrow my copy if you want.
I do. I will.
Should play it. This is kind of a cheat because it's not really a video
want
game,
to.
but it is kind of a video game. Is
You can
watching
borrow
Last
my
of
copy,
Us
Connor's
with
copy, I can play it.
Yeah.
Parker and Parker
And
with our
Hasten.
grandparents.
Yeah, that was
It
awesome.
was so fun. It was like my favorite, one of my
It was
favorite.
awesome.
one of my favorite, if not my favorite, video game of all time.
Mhm.
And just
I will
watching
say,
that with
on top of that, what a great year for video game adaptations. Like, holy
Yep.
crap. Last of Us show, amazing. Super
Right,
Mario Bros.
amazing.
movie, amazing. Like,
Yeah.
really great year for that. Like, the
Just-
video game movie curse is
Twisted Metal,
long since gone.
my
Yeah.
favorite show of all time.
Shout out Twisted Metal.
Shout out to Twisted.
Don't
shout
forget
out
Lord
to,
of the Rings.
Shout out to
Gollum.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Falcon.
Hazen?
Shout out to Falcon from MCU. Shout out to what he said at the Game Awards when he was.
Anyways, bye, Tanner.
Oh, yeah. Season 2.
Oh, yeah.
For you.
yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Gonzo.
my last
Shout out to
moment this
Gonzo.
year.
Shout out
Game
to
Awards.
Gonzo.
Shout out to Jeff Keighley. Jeff, you a real one. I know you watching this. He watches all gaming content. Shout out to Jeff
He
Keighley,
watches all gaming content, period.
Yeah.
If there's gaming
He is watching this right now.
Yeah.
He
If
has
there's
like-
gaming
he has
content
like
out there,
19
Jeff
monitors.
Keighley's seen it, man. Yeah. He's
has
like
like
in the
19
Matrix room, like that
monitors
room,
playing
room with
every
all the
content.
TVs, and he's just like
Shout out to Jeff Keighley.
watching it, consuming it all. Yeah, that's what he does during his
Pokemon
free
Go
time.
Players, those Pokemon Go
Keighley
players
watched
from
this.
Japan, where it's like
They
the
have
old
like
Japanese
15
guy.
phones.
They have like 15 phones and they're riding a moped and they're like doing it all at once.
He just gives off major robot vibes. Like he's just like,
He's got it, yeah. He's probably friends with Mark Zuckerberg. They probably program each other.
oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, Hazen, go ahead.
Last
Yeah.
moments of this year is late nights playing Age of Empires.
Oh heck yeah,
Oh,
let's go.
yeah.
So fun to go back to a classic game with all of us and just build villages and destroy people.
Loved
What a
it.
cool
Get
game
destroyed
for
one or
all of
the
us
other.
to get into. What a
Yeah.
random.
Yeah,
game.
that's another honorable mention. I'll say for me is Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Because it came to Xbox officially this year, so I'm gonna count it, even though that's not
Great
where I.
port, by the
where I
way.
played it,
Shout out to.
I like how more than half of our
Seriously,
games
though.
are not this year.
Yeah, but that was great.
Yeah,
That was on
Xbox,
Xbox
yeah,
this year.
Xbox
So.
was, yeah, it was. It was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple of moments for me, real quick. I just want to throw out is RE4, the Fountain Room. Those who know it know it. It's amazing. It's so good.
Hated this naked.
They also had everyone's just naked. There was the chainsaw demo
Whoa.
that they released for RE4 a couple months before it came out, and I was obsessed with that just for straight up a couple weeks. It's only like an hour long, but you can play it over and over, and I love when games do stuff like this. There's Easter eggs in a demo for more stuff where it's like if you play the demo in a different way, it unlocks different things. Like it's so cool. Like if you go through and you don't kill the first two enemies, then you can go to a secret door in the demo that lets you get the TMP, which is a gun you don't
Oh, that's
normally
cool.
have. And then they also have like if you play it on for 7 times, like your 7th playthrough, the Chainsaw Man is like this upgraded, completely different version called like the Mad Chainsaw Man, and he has like a fire chainsaw.
Huh.
It's just cool, like little stuff like that. Like great job,
Especially for
Capcom.
a demo. For them to
For a
put
demo,
so much time
yeah.
and effort into a demo.
Exactly. So I loved that. There's a thing in Spider-Man 2 that I can't say, spoilers for it. I won't even say what it is, but there's a thing that happens towards the end of the game that I did not see coming. That's absolutely amazing. And it involves gameplay.
Sick. I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, Hasten knows what I'm
You get
talking
to play
about.
as
Yeah,
That guy
it was
knows.
super, super, super sick.
this guy knows.
Yeah. And then the Age of Empires, that was super fun. Yeah, it was a great year. Great year for games. Anyone else have any moments they want to throw out?
Moments. I said one earlier. The zombies maps. Me and Parker ate them all. Every single one.
Finally.
Treyarch
And
specifically. Let's be honest. That's the only
Yeah.
ones that matters. It was awesome.
And
I don't
can't
know
wait
how
for
Parker feels about it.
next year.
Genuinely, one of the
The
biggest
Variant remaster.
accomplishments. I don't know. It sounds cheesy, but like one of the biggest accomplishments of my life.
Oh, seriously.
Beating every zombies map because zombies
Well,
maps.
we
That's
are
hard.
easy.
We told
told
ourselves that we
myself.
were gonna do it
Yep.
before we die, and we did it way too early. But
You did it. You guys still had like who knows how long.
couple years.
When-
Yeah,
And
at
it
least,
was
a,
a
at least a
blast,
year or
like-
something.
Like genuinely, it was a blast. Like I didn't think I was gonna have as much fun. I thought it was gonna be a pain.
Kenny, you're frozen, by the
at
way.
some point. Am I
That's
frozen for you
fine.
guys?
Yeah, it's all right though.
It's fine. We don't want to see your face.
I will say
on that?
also another
Some
thing
of-
I loved this year
Good enough.
is playing through some old retro games that I've always wanted to go through
yeah.
and beat. Beat the original Castlevania, Castlevania 4. I'd beaten Castlevania 4 before, but it was fun to go through it again. Contra, going through and beating that was awesome. We all went through and played Donkey Kong Country together, taking turns and beat that.
And the old Mario games.
The old Mario games.
Wait, we ended up beating it?
Yeah, we ended up beating it. Yeah.
Jeez.
But those were super fun. Fun to have those retro game nights.
Gotta keep them up. That's awesome.
Yeah, we gotta go through and do some more this year. I just want to throw out this real fast. These are the games I beat this year. So I actually beat RE4. I beat 3 times. I beat a game called A Short Hike. Shout out to that. It's actually really fun. It's on Game Pass. It's super quick.
Is that the one with the bird?
The bird that flies around. Yeah. Great for achievements too. Like I think I almost completed
I was gonna say.
I think I like 9 achievements. Yeah, like 950 gamer score on that. I beat Separate Ways, the RE4 DLC 3 times. Spider-Man 2, beat that. I beat Elden Ring earlier in the year. Stray on PlayStation 5, the cat game. That's a good game too.
Great.
Obviously, I said Contra, Donkey Kong Country. I beat Resident Evil Village again. Shadows of Rose DLC, Castlevania, and Castlevania 4. So those are games I beat this year.
All right, I'll tell you the games I've beat this year.
Wait, I still had moments.
No, I'm gonna say my games beat.
Hey. I have like.
Do you even have one?
Let's see.
He's done.
Fortnite.
He's done 'cause he didn't beat
I beat Fortnite. Yeah.
You beat Fortnite. You did all of it. Did all the XP.
I actually don't know if I've beat any games. Like
Moments.
actually, sorry.
Yeah,
Evil Within.
Oh yeah.
I beat Evil Within this year. There you go.
I'm proud
First
of you
Evil
for that.
Within.
Such an amazing game. One of my
I beat
favorites
it.
of all time. What were you gonna say, Taryn?
Okay.
Hold on. What else? I feel like you beat some. I mean, zombies maps.
Yeah, that's true. So I technically beat Call of Duty
You beat Call of
3
Duty.
and 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I
I
have
100%
one.
had-
I'm just kidding.
Wait, we've lied to ourselves though, Tanner. We haven't beat Classified yet. So
No, we're not doing that. I'm not getting to around 100.
Oh, so you guys lied. Okay.
It's not real.
I know, I'm
It's you
kidding.
have to get to around 150.
it's not real. This life is a
150.
It's not real.
simulation.
It takes 7 out or 9 hours, like 7 to 9 hours.
Yeah, it's like
Do it before you die.
but we could do the smaller one. And
We'll do it
count
before we die. We'll
Yeah.
AFK or something. Shout out. Not shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Shout
making
out
this the
to
thing.
moments.
I
Shout out to that moment.
100%ed Vampire Survivors, 190 something achievements.
Shout out to 100.
Dang, yeah, that's
Yes.
impressive. That's actually insane.
It is.
That is
Yep.
a lot
Actually,
of
shout
time.
out to the developers. I don't know if it's Pronicle or whatever. They're great. They're awesome. Make a great game. Yeah, 100% of that. 100% of Lego games. Borderlands 2, just barely, just like an hour ago.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah, finally got that 100%.
Did you do that on Xbox or PC?
Xbox?
Oh, nice. So you got the achievements?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
How
much Gamer Score was that?
Pre-sequel now. Well, I already had most of it done because I played Borderlands on
Oh,
Xbox.
okay.
I've never played Borderlands on PC. I own it, but what else? Oh, yeah. Talking about nights we played, the nights we'd play shipment. Those were awesome. We just
Yeah.
jump in and
That was fun.
24/7,
um,
baby. That was
hoorah!
awesome.
We'd just play shipment.
Hoorah!
Hoorah!
Hoorah, let's go.
It was awesome.
what was
you
the
know?
other
we
thing?
did that quite a bit, you know.
It
I'm
was fun
glad
to
I
get
got it.
into
You
the-
guys convinced me to buy it, and I
Here's the thing. It was worth it just for those, at least. I
just
think.
for those
yeah.
moments.
Yeah, for
Agreed.
shipment alone.
When I ended up playing it quite a bit, actually. Like,
Yeah.
I don't remember how.
Well,
how-
and
how
it basically
long
lasted you 2 years.
Yeah.
And
It's true.
Till
more or
next
less.
year, maybe.
I will say
'cause-
though,
And look, I don't regret the purchase. It was fun.
I jumped in for Christmas to see if they had a Christmas event going on, and guess what? They do, but not for MW2. They're just like, no.
It's for the
That's dumb.
DLC.
I'm just
for-
like,
It's
we're
for
not
the
gonna do
DLC
it.
for
Shout out
MW2
to
that costs
Activision
$70.
for a
Yeah.
horrible business
Shout out
practice.
to
Shout out to
Activision.
Yeah. Like that's just
Um,
ridiculous. Like they straight up have some of the same
it's
maps. It
stupid.
was like, oh,
yeah,
you
they
can play
have
it,
shipment
but you
and
can do
stuff.
the Christmas
Christmas
one
for-
on MW3, but not on
That's
MW2.
so stupid. That's so dumb.
We don't do. We're done with.
As far as I
MW2.
know.
That's it.
I jumped in for 2 seconds, but
I 100%ed Skyrim
oh wow,
earlier this year, way earlier this year. I 100%ed
That's a dream
Banjo
of mine.
Kazooie, the original Banjo Kazooie.
whoa, the original, nice.
I got a lot of my favorite games out of the way because I feel like there's sometimes where I've missed content with some of them.
Mm-hmm.
There was straight up stuff in Skyrim that I had never done. Some of the
That's
team
crazy.
skills stuff.
After all this time.
Crazy.
After all this time.
But after all this time, yeah, I feel like I tried a
this-
lot of new games this year, like a shiz ton. Like I'm looking at my games right here. I've tried a bunch of new ones and continue playing them, but I tried them. But yeah, my
I
moments.
100% did Plants vs Zombies this year.
I
No, you
also
didn't.
did that, but it doesn't have achievements on the PS.
Wait, actually, can you 100% it? Is it?
You can on Xbox and get achievements.
Oh, nice.
But on
Well, I beat
PC,
it.
on
I
PC
beat
Game
Plants vs.
Pass, it
Zombies.
doesn't have achievements for some reason, and I was so mad.
Yeah,
It's
there was
such
a
good
bunch
game.
of games that I won't even go through because Game Pass.
All guys.
Another shout out. Shout out to
No,
Game
shout
Pass.
out to Game
Shout out
Pass.
to
I
Fall Guys.
straight up
Game Pass and
my
their good
list-
business practices.
my list of games that I've played this year is actually probably one of the most ever
Astronomical.
that I've played in a single year in terms of sheer amount of games. Most there's a ton that I maybe jumped in for like an hour
Shout
or
out
two
to
and
Golf
didn't,
with Your Friends.
didn't keep going, but
I didn't play that.
Golf with Your Friends, I did play that. It is on my list on what I played this year.
It would
But
fall flat.
Alan Wake Remastered,
to-
freaking Callisto Protocol, some great games that I need to get back to. I mean, great game. I haven't gotten too far in them, but they were fun from what I played. Anything else you guys want to shout out or mention for 2023 as we come to a close?
Hopes for next year. Anticipations.
Well, we can save. Should we save that for another episode?
Save
'Cause
that.
we could do an episode about that.
anticipated Games. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you want to do that now, or do you want to save it?
No, we can do like a different episode for it.
Yeah, we'll do that as a different episode because then we can talk about what we predict for 2024 in general. But here's to a great year for gaming. 2023 will definitely go down in history as one of the best and busiest. Absolutely. What are you gonna
Number one. Best year.
say? Yeah, I would-
2011 was great, but
I'd have to look exactly at what came out every year again, like
Wait,
revisit.
we
But
forgot
I
to
would say
mention
off the
one-
top of my head,
one
yeah, this
game.
is probably his best year.
we didn't even mention the game this whole time.
What's that?
Hitler too.
Halo.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
that's a
We literally didn't even
That
mention
is
it.
crazy. That is a great
Yeah.
call. Well,
I've almost beat it. I gotta beat it.
I didn't bring it up because I haven't played it on my own Switch yet. The only time I played it is with Hasten and you guys, whenever that was. But it was fun from what I played. I need to get to it. I literally have it still sitting on my
Mhm.
shelf, so
Uh,
I got to get to it. But it looks awesome. Everything
get
I've heard
out
is
of it.
great. Nominated for Game of the
maybe
Year,
like
so
halfway.
yeah, shout out.
How did we
My
not
wonder.
even mention that?
That is shocking that we didn't
Also-
mention that.
Yeah.
And apologies to
Not
all
that
the
it's forgettable. It's a great game, but it's forgettable. in
Baldur's
a
Gate
weird
fans
way.
that don't.
yeah, Baldur's
want
Gate
us
fans.
to-
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
I'll let
Yeah.
you know
How'd you
next
know?
year how much-
Just kidding.
Yeah,
I'll let
once
you
Hasten
know
plays it.
sometime this year.
'Cause
how
you're
much
thinking
I
of
love
other
it.
games.
Oh gosh, another one I didn't even mention. Alan Wake 2. I didn't get a chance to play it. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the first one. I'm excited to play it. I'm a huge survival horror fan, so I think it's right up my alley. Everything I've heard, it's a lot like Resident Evil and stuff like that. So super excited to try that one, but haven't had a chance to play it yet. Just been way too busy of a year. But I actually have a couple like that on my list that just didn't get around to. But I'm sure it might be on my list if I had the chance to play them. But AC Mirage.
I will now beat a lot of
Actually-
games.
Played it.
No, that's one that I didn't play that I actually think I would like. It's more the old school Assassin's Creed, so looks good. Kind of seems like it got swept under the rug though. Yeah. Any other shout outs?
Gorn.
Shout out to
Sounds
Love
like a
that
bad
game.
name. Gorn.
So-
It's a VR game.
Oh, I thought you said porn.
No, I sounded like I said that.
Shout
I
out to
legit
porn.
thought you did
Yeah.
too, and I was about to make a Utah
Porn.
porn joke. So. But,
Shout out to porn and it getting blocked in Utah.
VPNs.
Yeah.
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 The best game of the year.
That existed. Pornhub.
Congrats to Nintendo. Congrats to Doug Bowser. you guys did it. You got the Super Basement Bro coveted prize of Game of the Year. Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Congratulations,
here.
Nintendo.
we have
Yeah.
we have
should
a
be
trophy for
proud.
you.
Here's what you get. We'll ship
have a
it in the
trophy.
mail. We'll ship it in the mail. You'll get it.
You get my
Hasten
got
got it right there.
All.
Anyway, we thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more podcasts and talk about our anticipated 2024
Strong
games.
2024. We're excited
Here's-
for this year.
Yeah, here's to another
Let's have a
great
good
year
year.
in gaming. Yeah, hopefully we get
excited.
some new
Not
reveals
excited
soon.
for this year.
Here's your trophy. This is actually like a trophy for.
This is what you guys get. This is for you, Nintendo.
Get a total
Congrats.
of undying for undying.
Love.
Here's a trophy, Nintendo. A Xbox owned trophy.
Yeah.
Not Xbox. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's enough of that. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
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 Bye. Peace.